All right, a very good morning, everybody, from the controller scopes. It's Captain Abs here with you once again. Trying to squeeze in a little controller stream that I'm otherwise not going to have time for this week. Basically, this week, this is my only day off of the entire week, so it's kind of a now or never getting a little stream in here. So I don't even know that this is going to be very long. I've got a bunch of stuff I got to do today, but I really wanted to get something done. So I really wanted to get a little bit of streaming done. I know people really enjoy the streaming, so here we are, trying to get some streaming done. And actually, while I'm at it, I see that I'm not writing my ATIS here. So in case you couldn't tell, we are in Vancouver today. Uh, so let's go ahead and pull up some information about Vancouver. Looks like we're going to be on an east flow today. So we'll go east flow, we'll transmit the ATIS, and we'll try to get this guy to call us here. Or WestJet 724 Vancouver, do you read? WestJet 724 Vancouver, how do you read? Alright, so we just logged on, so we're just going to try and poke these guys to see where they are and see if we can get them to give us a shout. But otherwise, yeah. Let's see if we can also see what's going on here. So we got Alaska 491 here on the ground in Vancouver, so let's check out his flight plan while we're waiting for something to happen here. Vancouver 1, Roche Mariner 7 to Seattle. Not a very exciting flight plan. It's pretty much what you'd expect, though. Alright, so Vancouver 1 it is, and then Terrace, BC as well. We got a Canadian Express 673 trying to get out of Terrace, BC. And loading weather there. One thing I've noticed a little bit, oh, and now he's gone. One thing I've noticed a little bit about weather lately on VATSIM, it seems to be a little bit slower. Since Velocity came out, the weather does not seem to quite come in quite as fast as it used to. It still comes in, but it just takes a couple seconds longer. Hopefully this guy will get a hold of us shortly here. And in the meantime, I'm just going to grab my other computer. Oh, I heard something. So maybe it's working. Maybe it's getting there. Now, why can you guys not hear that? Oh, I know why. Hold on. And I should do this. At Turkish 6371 Vancouver Centre, good morning. Squawk code 0721. Turkish 6371 Vancouver Centre, good morning. Squawk code 0721. I keep hitting the wrong push to talk. I'm thinking, I'm in the wrong mode here.
0721.
Alright, now you guys can hear that. It's faint, but it's.
Good day, WestJet 724.
Let me just turn that up a little bit as well. And WestJet 724 Vancouver Centre, good morning. Squawk code 0712.
Squawk code 0712. WestJet 724.
And let me just pull up. I'm just pulling this up on my other screen here. Turkish 6371 Heavy Vancouver Centre. Thanks. You're identified. Flight level 340. Welcome.
Thank you. Turkish 637.
And then I need to get, let's see here. I need a east flow. There we go. That's an east flow. Oh, WestJet 724 Vancouver. Thanks. Identified. Descending through 232. Descend 12,000. Vancouver altimeter is 3032. It's runway 08 left for arrival.
Okay, descend to 12,000 and altimeter Vancouver 3032. And can you repeat the runway, please?
WestJet 724. That's correct. The runway is 08 left.
Okay, 08 left. WestJet 724. Thank you.
Nope, that's the wrong button. Sorry about that. I was trying to hit this. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. And hopefully we get a little bit of traffic in here. It's a little bit quiet this morning in Vancouver. It's a little bit quiet everywhere. Unfortunately, morning was the only time I was going to have this week to do any streaming at all. It's just the way it happened. Oh, there's the Canadian Express, so I'll just ping him now that he's en route. And we'll get him a clearance, squawk code and a clearance here. Yeah, unfortunately, I would much rather stream evenings because you're going to get traffic. You're going to get traffic for sure. Although the one nice thing about being the only controller online during the day is that people in North America is that people see you and they want to come and control. They want to come near you here. They want to come and fly through your airspace. Not totally true. Boston's also online, and some other towers are online. But you know what I mean. When there's only a few ATC choice online people, you're more likely to get the aircraft. But then again, it's morning, so there's not as many people online to choose from. So which one is better, streaming morning or afternoon? And at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to what's better, and for me, it comes down to what do I have time for. As I said, like this is my only day off this week, so it's an now or never kind of deal for streaming. Otherwise, it's going to be next week before I get another stream in, and I kind of like to try and do at least one stream every week. It's my goal, anyways. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's what I'm always aiming for: is one stream a week at least. And if I can do it, one flight stream and one ATC stream. But just with the schedule, the work schedule the next week, it's just not going to happen. So the first week of March looks right up through the first week of March looks like it's gonna be pretty hectic, but after the first week of March, it looks like my schedule's gonna become a little bit easier, a little bit more forgiving, and a bit more free time in there. But just kind of a big push of just working a whole bunch all at once. So we'll try and get some time here controlling. Hopefully we'll get a few people. I saw there were a few people. There's one guy just took off from Calgary inbound. There's an inbound just took off from, I don't know if he took off from Salt Lake, but no, actually he took off from Cancun. He's just crossing Salt Lake. Yeah, a flight inbound from Winnipeg. So there's a handful of flights online heading towards Vancouver. It's kind of a toss up between Vancouver and Moncton as well. I kind of need to log into Moncton for once, but the trouble with Moncton is there's a bit more traffic, but it's just all overflights. It's almost never there's almost never many arrivals and departures in Moncton. I shouldn't say that, because once you log in as a center controller, people see you and they tend to come and fly with they tend to fly with you. So I don't know. I just sort of I took a chance. I when I log on, sometimes I have a specific sector in mind that I want to log on I haven't logged on. I need to kind of build up back my currency. Sometimes it's just a question of just what's going to get the most benefit to the network. So what am I going to see? Um, uh, where are the most pilots flying online right now, or flying towards that are going to give you the most benefit for being online? So yeah. WestJet 724 to send 8,000.
Descent 8,000 west at 74.
So those are the kind of criteria I use when I'm picking a place to fly. Like the most common criteria I do use is what is going to get the most benefit to the network as a whole. Where am I going to have the most pilots online and be able to provide the most service? So the trouble is, like, especially if nobody's been online for a while, usually Canada's very spread out, kind of 50-50 whether you're going to actually see anybody in any sector. So just trying to decide see what places I have controlled lately, because my goal is to always try and control at least once a month in all the various FIRs in Canada, at least once every month. So I kind of have to balance trying to serve the most traffic with also trying to make sure that I do log in at least once a month into every locale in Canada. I just don't think it's going to be quite as busy as the last stream I did. I did a stream last week, kind of last minute again. My ATC streams, I'm kind of squeezing them in last minute, where I think I'm going to have time. I wasn't sure if I was going to feel up to doing it today. Even now, it just with the low amount of traffic, it's a little disheartening to be here. But I'm going to do my best to try and provide some good service. Hopefully, just lure in the people. I don't like the fact I don't have. I'm just looking at this. I don't have the. What am I looking for? The terminal view here. The like the airspace. Let me see if I can turn it on here. Something like that. There we go. Wish it was a little bit brighter color, so it was a little bit more obvious, but nowhere. CAM5. It's not even in my database. Let's just see if Navigraph knows where CAM5 is. So wherever Canadian Express 673 is going to, it's CAM5. Houston. Which is right near the Houston Smithers VOR. He's pretty much already ready for his descent. It's a very short little leg. We're going to have to just pretty much ignore him and just pay attention to WestJet here, I guess. We do have another aircraft inbound there that's airborne, so we're going to have a couple of aircraft here on our frequency, but it's just not very busy. I did log in last week in the evening and did Toronto Centre for like 3 hours in the evening, and boy, was it busy, especially like the first hour. I was just absolutely smoking busy for the first hour. It kind of petered out after a little while, but WestJet 724 descend 5,000.
Descent 5,000 with it 74.
I know he's quiet. He's just quiet in general. If I turn up the volume too much, you're not going to be able to hear. Everybody else is going to be overmodulated. This guy's really quite quiet on his mic, so just have to deal with it. I see you there, Alaska. What's your story? What are your plans here? What are your goals? As you can see today, I've got the tower view and the ground view up, or not the tower view, but the radar view and the ground view up. And yeah, at this point, it's basically comes down to the fact that Gyroscope still does not support the new VATSIM velocity codec for the way traffic information is streamed into the sim, which is unfortunate because I really do enjoy tower view, and I have not been able to use it for a little while here. But especially when you're at an airport that's got good scenery. I've got the FS Dream Team Vancouver, which is really nice. It does a really good job of representing this airport. I know that FSM Studios also has Vancouver scenery out there. The only reason I had chose FS Dream Team is because it was first, and I got a discount because I already owned the previous version. So, not, and that's not to say I don't doubt that the FSM Studios is really good quality scenery as well. I've seen their other work. I've seen their airports in Halifax and Moncton, and some of their and Kelowna, and some of their P3D work as well. And there's a studio that really kind of sort of start out really quiet and really has come roaring ahead in Microsoft Flight Simulator, putting out quite a few good airports, really high quality scenery, and of course the Canadian bent, which is really nice because there's not very many developers that create airports in Canada for the most part. Oh, there we go. Now Canadian Express, WestJet 724 descend 3,000.
Descent 3,000 west at 74.
Alright, now Canadian Express 4673 called me at 11,000, so squawk 0757. And I don't believe. CYYD for Smithers? Yeah, CYYD. There he goes. Alright, time for the crazy typing here. Let's see here. Winds. So closest weather is Smithers winds. Winds 1. altimeter 3070. That is a high altimeter setting. Clear to descend at a controlled airspace vicinity of Houston, and report down and clear on this frequency. Yeah, unfortunately, by the time you called me, you were already in your descent, thinking, yeah, it was almost, it got to that point where it's almost not even worth calling. I hate to say it, but because I always love to talk to somebody, but if you're already in descent below the lowest IFR altitude, there's not much I can do for you. Smithers is the closest thing I've got there, and it's about 25 miles away, so the lowest altitude I can clear them to in that area is probably like, it's probably 10 or 12,000. Let's see here. 10,000 actually. Let's see here. How far is the VOR from the airport there? Yeah. The 100-mile safe is 11,000. So as soon as he started descending, he was below my 100-mile safe altitude. Although I can also do this and pull up my. Let's see here. AMA. 10,300 is the lowest you can go, as far as I know. WestJet 724, turn left heading 170. WestJet 724, turn left heading 170.
Turn left heading 170, WestJet 724.
Why the final approach courses are not being drawn on here either. There's all sorts of little glitches where things are missing that should be on here. CYVR. If I can find CYVR here. Stars, but I want the approaches as well. There we go. Now I got some approach courses. WestJet 724, continue left turn, heading 110 for the intercept. Cleared ILS, runway 08 left.
Turn left, heading 100, and we clear to ILS, runway 08 left. WestJet 724.
Close enough. Now WestJet 987, Vancouver, are you here? PBASK. Not coming to Canada. Tested positive. Boo. Boo. I am sorry to hear that. Yeah. Life is a bit of a bitch these days. there goes my G rating on this stream, but it is a bit of a pain in the rear end these days. I have to agree. Unfortunately, it's yeah. I have managed to dodge that bullet thus far, but it hasn't been for lack of trying of COVID trying to get me. That's for sure. I've had quite a lot of people now around me who have tested positive. Nobody in my immediate family, but lots of people in my extended family have tested positive now over the past few months. So it's just something we're all gonna have to something we're all gonna have to deal with at some point, I guess. Really, WestJet logged off. That was his response. But rather than talk to somebody, I'm just gonna log off. I get it sometimes, but I don't get it sometimes. I get it sometimes because I fly the network too. I'm a pilot too on the network, so I get sometimes when people log off when they see a controller show up. I do it sometimes. Sometimes I'll be flying through an airspace and I know I won't have time to talk to the guy. I know I'll be what am I trying to say? I know I'll be there's a cat disturbing my green screen. Yeah, I know, like I'll be busy doing things, like I'll be either eating a meal or whatever. So as soon as I see the controller come online, like the one thing about being online is that like, it flags your destination as somewhere that you are going to go to, and that you will have ATC there eventually. But at the same time, yeah, I'm about to have a special guest on my stream here. No, do not play with this stuff, cat. Honest to God, honest to God, cat. What are you doing? You're not going to fit up there. You're not going to fit up there, Mr. Cat. He wants to be my special guest star. And he is disturbing my green screen that was so carefully placed to avoid too much background anyways. Yeah, I get it sometimes, but like especially like on a short flight or when you're nearing your destination, like you generally I expect like you kind of plan to be there for the arrival. Like certainly mid-flight, sometimes I plan to go and do some chores, clean part of my house or do the laundry or whatever, have a meal, like I said. But yeah, when you're on a short flight, like if you pick Calgary to Vancouver, it's because it's a short flight. I expect you're probably planning to sit in the flight deck the whole time, and yet here, as soon as I pinged him, gone. All right, who else is coming in? I got the Jazz, who is halfway through Winnipeg's airspace. That's not helping. And I got this WestJet 2029 coming from Cancun. Both of them are at least an hour away, so there's not much going on. My best bet is A, this Alaska is going to hopefully call for clearance soon, and B, maybe the Canadian Express 673 will refile something else out of Houston there. So, WestJet 724 Vancouver, the wind's showing 050 at 9er, clear to land, runway 08 left.
Clear to land runway 08 left, west at 74.
I always drop the track on these guys, but it's so dark with this. So I'm gonna toy with these settings a little bit here. Just give me a minute here. I'm gonna toy with the colors here a little bit and see if we can't get. Let's see, data block, arrivals, departures, non-concern. I'm just gonna turn up the color on the supposedly non-concern because it's way too dim. There we go. Even non-concern should be at least visible on my scope here. Oh, and I can express. All right, and so flight plan is closed. Have a good day to Canadian Express 673. I hope he refiles something outbound. I hope he's not just going to sit on the ground there and be done with it. I hope he files something outbound. I hope a few people file. There's a couple of people logging on in Seattle and Painefield. The Seattle guys are kind of heading up towards Alaska, so they'll be flying through our airspace there. The Walker and there's somebody else down there. And Canadian Express 673, nice. He says he's going to be back in 5 minutes. Nice. So we'll have a little outbound something at least. Something. Since the one guy who was inbound to Vancouver decided to log off. I should have picked a different sector. I have the buyer's remorse on this today. It's just not going to be a busy morning. Ricky Gabana. I am from Germany, first time here, trying to have some fun and perhaps join the sim later on. Yeah, please do. It's very quiet, so if you got any questions about operations in Vancouver specifically or Canada in general, please ask because I don't have much to talk about here. My plan is about a 2 to 3 hour stream today, maybe another 2 hours, 2.5 hours at most from now. As I said, like this is my only day off this week. I have a few things, I have a few errands I have to run, so but I really want to get a stream in, and this was basically the only time this week I could do it was kind of during the day. So I seem to be getting a lot of Europeans watching my channel these days. I'm starting to notice that, and I think it's partly because of the timing. Just the yeah, just I'm on in a time that would be more popular for Europeans than for North Americans. Unfortunately, it's just the way my schedule is, and especially this week, like I worked at nights all weekend, and boy, it was brutal. The sad thing is I'm starting to get used to nights, and that's probably the saddest thing of all. Is I've been doing them a lot lately, and I'm starting to get used to this. But that third night really just wow, just drags on, and you're just stuck in this kind of fog, and you sleep all day, and you wake up and you're like, what time is it? What's just stuck in this fog all day long? It's not a particularly pleasant experience, I've got to say. Like, I'm getting very tired of it, but I do it because I have to for now. Hopefully, in the future, my schedule will shift a little bit. Next month, I've seen the tentative schedule, and it's actually not looking too bad for me next month. The first week or so is possibly going to be all night shifts again, but after that, it switches to mostly just some weekend work. So I'll have some time off during the week to stream, which will be good. I'll definitely have more days off each week next month. It just yeah, just the way the schedule's working out this month is just a little bit brutal. And it's not brutal. It just sort of my month ended up very backloaded. I had the first part of the month was very was very light on the workload, and then the second half of the month it just made up for it. So, WestJet724, welcome to Vancouver. Right turn when you're able, and say you're great. All right, Canadian Express 673 is going from CAM5 to CYPZ. He is just trekking through the tiniest little outposts down here. Burns Lake. And surprisingly, actually, there is an approach into Burns Lake.
Vancouver Center, thank you, vacating runway by Mike 3.
Oh, WestJet 724, Roger. And what gate are you going to?
Can you give me any stand, please?
WestJet 724, okay. For domestic, turn right on Mike, taxi Mike Juliet for gate 44.
Okay, turn right via Mike Juliet for gate number 44, Westjet 724.
WestJet 724, Roger. All right, so Canadian Express 673, he's got a new flight plan. It's just, he's just doing VFR, so I don't even care. Which, because I was going to say, like, at this point, like, I pretty much couldn't do anything with him because he wouldn't even be able to climb up to a minimum IFR altitude at this point. He might. See, there's his destination right there. So the flight itself is 29 miles. Yeah, it's just not even worth talking to me as long as he's got like actual ATC. It looks like we got one of our takeoffs out of Seattle on his way to, I believe, PAKT's Ketchikan. So got something going on there, anyways. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not a particularly busy day on the network here. Not for Vancouver, anyways. But again, it's one of those things where like I do always try to have patience because it usually takes at least a couple of days, if not a couple of days, a couple of hours to kind of build up traffic. Like at least stay online for an hour. I see people log on sometimes as controllers for less than an hour, for like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then they log off again. And I'm like, nobody's going to see you're online in that period of time. So it kind of blows my mind. It's not worth logging in for that short a period of time. Like you usually need to be online. The position needs to be manned for about an hour to really start seeing traffic react to the fact that you're online. Enough people get in there, they file a flight plan. Um, they see that you're online, and they come and fly in your airspace. But you definitely need like about an hour just for that to happen, to build that up. So I see people log on all the time for periods of time, like 30 minutes, and I get it. Sometimes something happened after you logged on and you had to change your mind, but as much as possible, like personally, I try to plan to be online for minimum 2 hours, and stretches of 3 is even better, because that first hour you're just sort of sitting there waiting for something to happen, waiting for people to notice you're online, build up some traffic. So I can see the Canadian Express is airborne 5500. He filed VFR, so he's well below what we're really going to be able to do too much for him. He's well below the minimum sector altitude. So I wonder if the other guys are visible yet. Nobody else inbound to Vancouver is visible yet. I've got a very limited range here. It's going to be another half an hour before any of these other guys that are inbound even are visible on my radar. Just this departure out of Seattle there. That's about it. Let's see, where's this Jazz? Yeah. Oh my God. It's going to be 2 hours before this Jazz gets here at least. He's not even passing Moose Jaw yet. Let's have a look at it. Let's just analyze it here. ETA 1809. Yeah, I might just be. I'm gonna be just about ready to wind down the stream by the time he's getting here. And then this guy from Cancun to Vancouver. That's a long flight. It's almost 2,500 miles. That's a long flight. His ETA is showing 17:15, so that is about 1 hour from now. So I'll see him on radar in about 30 to 40 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I'm about to send this last guy over to Unicom, and then that's going to be about it. At least this guy taking off from Seattle will be talking to me, but it's about to get awfully lonely here on this frequency. I may have picked the wrong sector to log into today, and sometimes you just do that. Like I said, I try to pick where I think there's going to be traffic, where I think my services are going to be used. I made the wrong choice today. It's also early on the West Coast. What is it now? It's it's like 8 in the morning on the West Coast. So anybody who even lives on the West Coast is probably just barely even waking up, let alone thinking about booting up a sim at this point. So yeah. 3 a.m. in the morning for me is a little tricky, especially when it comes to handle my daytime stuff. So normally I like to go VFR. Try and if what airport? So I normally like to go VFR. So I try and if from what airport you would like me to, so I can study the charts. In terms of and Captain Michael says, good morning. Not Toronto Centre this morning, unfortunately. I don't think does it say Toronto Centre on my stream? Oh, it does say Toronto Centre. I apologize. I thought I fixed that. I thought I changed that. Let me just change that up really quick because that's not right. We are Vancouver Centre. Uh, Crud. Let me just go to Stream Manager here. There it is. All right, yeah. I thought I changed that when I logged in. I thought I changed to Vancouver Centre, but it looks like it went back. It didn't save my change, so it went back to Toronto Centre. So sorry, guys. Yeah, we are in Vancouver Centre today, not Toronto Centre. So thank you actually for pointing that out, though, because that I would have just let that go all day long without noticing. Good morning. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm finally had a good night's sleep last night for the first time in 4 days. So it was kind of nice to actually have a full night's sleep at night. So I'm feeling a little refreshed today, feeling a little better. Just like I said, like a little disappointed at not going to probably see more traffic, but what are you going to do? You deal with what you can on VATSIM. Did Alaska switch gates? Oh no, that's okay. No, I just moved the tag around. Okay, all right. Turkish 6371 Heavy Vancouver. You're leaving my airspace to the north. Anchorage is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day. Turkish 637.
Turn these guys up because all of them seem to be a little bit quiet. So airports to fly from. there's tons of good airports right around Vancouver. So I like if you're looking for a place to fly, like Victoria to Toronto or Victoria to Toronto, Victoria to Vancouver. Now I've got Toronto in the brain. Victoria to Vancouver is a nice, pretty quick flight. Controlled at both ends, so that's kind of fun. Lots of beautiful scenery. There's tons of controlled airports around the Vancouver area itself. So if you want control right from the ground up, there's like 7 controlled airports. So besides Victoria and Vancouver, there's also Boundary Bay, Pitt Meadows, Langley, Abbotsford. I guess that's 4. So that's 6. Yeah, sorry, 6 controlled airports right on the Lower Peninsula here. We also provide service in Bellingham when Seattle's not online as well. And then as well, beautiful airports. If you want some beautiful scenery to fly to, there is Nanaimo right here.
WestJet 724. We are on gate number 44, and thank you for your control. Have a good day. Bye.
WestJet 724. Thank you so much for flying. We'll see you next time. Yeah, so if you want like a really short flight, especially if you kind of want to do something VFR but have a little bit of ATC along the way, the whole kind of lower mainland here of Vancouver and Vancouver Island, tons of airports very close together within the Vancouver terminal unit, so you're talking constantly to ATC. Nanaimo is also another beautiful airport just off the west side. It's uncontrolled, but as soon as you're airborne, you're talking to the terminal. And again, talking about beautiful places to go, just off the west side of Vancouver Island then is Tofino. It's another uncontrolled airport, but if you file IFR, you can get service at least down to the ground. Kelowna and Edmonton, Vancouver's a nice flight. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to promote Kelowna to Vancouver just because it's a little shorter, but it's also then you get controlled service at both ends because right now Edmonton's not online. So I'm selfishly seeking some traffic because I got very little going on right now. Walker's 1543 is going to talk to me here shortly, as is. I don't even know what GVY is. It doesn't have a. No, it doesn't have a. It doesn't have it in its remarks. I don't think GVY is an official. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me find the list of ICAO airline codes and see if it's actually on there anyways, because probably somebody's had it at some point, but G... No? GVY. What would GVY be? Gravy? Groovy? uh... No one has ever had GVY, so it's not a real airline code anyways, so your guess is as good as mine what he's going to be. Training to become a controller, good luck. Where are you training? Are you training in Canada here, or are you training somewhere else? Because either way is fun. If you want to come do some IFR approaches, absolutely. Please come and join me. There's not much going on, so I will approve just about anything at this point. I'm just selling myself out to anybody. I just want to provide some interest for people who actually want to watch the stream as well. That's the other thing too. Like it's, I start streaming and then you end up with very little traffic. It makes for a very boring stream. I have to say, like last week I did an evening stream. I did Toronto in the evening, and it was fantastic. And I'm going to post the video a little later today from that stream on my YouTube channel. It was very busy for the first hour. The second hour was kind of a little bit slower. The third hour it kind of picked up again. So very kind of off and on night. But that first hour especially was just smoking busy. It was, I think I got on at about 9 p.m. So kind of just getting the tail end of the evening rush. But boy, it was really, I barely stopped talking for that first hour, which is great. So that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want from an ATC stream. So yeah, it was that one was really good. This one I don't think it's going to be quite as busy. Want to be controlling in Edmonton. Oh, okay, so you're going to be the neighbor off to the east there. Definitely an interesting FIR just for the sheer size of it when you get up to the center level. Oh my gosh, it just like I've done streams where I've had one airplane start the stream in my airspace and 3 hours later, 4 hours later finish my stream and they're still in my airspace. They still haven't left. I've talked to them once when they started and that's when they're done and that was it. Walker 1543 Vancouver Centre, are you here? CAV3 to Williams Lake. Oh, Air Canada 996 going down to Mexico. Here we go. Starting to get some traffic. Good with ground. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, you got to start somewhere, and it's a great way to kind of learn things. The nice thing about ground, especially from a learning perspective, is that on the ground things can stop. Airplanes can stop on the ground, so you can deal with traffic slowing down. You know, if something's going wrong, you can just sort of tell everybody to stop and resolve the conflict and go from there. So it's a nice when you, especially when you're sort of learning things, you're learning how to talk on the radio and getting used to talking on the radio. It's it definitely makes things a little easier, a little slower pace that you can deal with stuff. Because once you start to get in the tower's tons of fun, and don't get me wrong, but at that point you get to the point where things don't stop. You can't necessarily stop. Yeah, I'll station's hold position. There you go. But yeah, when you see a conflict coming, it's getting all sorts of people popping up in my airspace all of a sudden here. So we got people logging in. We got this Air Canada 996 here. File down to Mexico. Let's just
Good evening, Walker 1543, flight level 310 for 360.
Walker 1543, VancouverCentre. Good morning. Squawk code 0777 0777.
Vancouver Center, good morning. Ember 9070 over flight level 350, about 45 miles to the south of Doug's.
All right, first Walker 1543 are identified climbing through 318. Continue climb, flight level 360.
Continue up to 360, Walker 1543.
And the other call for Vancouver, say again.
Vancouver Center, good morning. Ember 9070, we're flight level 350. We're about 40 miles to the south of Doug's.
All right, 40 south of Doug's, 9070, and I just didn't catch the airline call sign there.
Call sign is Ember.
And can you spell that for me phonetically?
Echo, Mike, Bravo, Echo, Romeo.
All right, let me just see if I can find. I'm just going to cheat here, and we're going to go. All right, let's see here. So SPK and Ember 9070 Vancouver. I don't see a flight plan for you. If you can hit refile on that for me, please.
My copy will refile that.
That's one thing that I'm a little bit worried about going forward here. Is they are talking about changing the way flight plan filing is handled and forcing it only through. There we go, Ember 9070. Now I've got your flight plan there. Squawk code 0761, please. They're talking about changing the way filing of flight plans happens in.
Vancouver Center, bonjour, Air Canada 67 at the parking, I believe, 6 at Cargo in Vancouver, requesting IFR pardon. 321.
And Ember's 9070 Vancouver. I think you got a stuck mic there. There we go. Ember 9070, just confirm squawk code 0761.
0761 Ember 9070.
Air Canada 67 Vancouver, you're cleared back to Vancouver via the via radar vectors. Expect runway 08 right for departure, and sorry, let me try this again. I don't know why I'm reverting to my American mode here. All right, Air Canada 67, you're cleared to Vancouver via the Vancouver 1 departure radar vectors. Depart runway 08 right, squawk code 0724.
Could you repeat your departure route again?
Air Canada 67, Vancouver 1 departure.
Please to the IFR apartments, Vancouver 1 departure, runway 08 right, squawk 0724, Air Canada 67.
Air Canada 67, the readback is all correct. Start up at your discretion and call me when you're ready for taxi.
Will do.
Ember 9070 Vancouver, thanks. You're identified flight level 350. Welcome. All right. We have to talk to this Gravy guy. Whoever Gravy is, we're going to talk to him soon. He's not quite here yet, though. He's very close now. But all of a sudden, whoo, there's a bunch of airplanes online here, which is just so nice to see. You know, it's nice when it actually happens. So 1 hour seems to be that magic number, as I was saying. Oh, that's you in Canada 670. I kind of figured that when you asked for the round robin clearance. So thank you for flying Vancouver today. We appreciate your service, or appreciate your patronage. So there goes the Air Canada 8, or the Canadian Express.
VancouverCentre, Gravity 8 Lima Hotel, flight level 310 for flight level 380, inbound Cape Now.
Gravity 8 Lima Hotel, Vancouver, good day, squawk code 0766.
Squawk 0766 for Gravity 8 Lima Hotel.
Alright, so they're both doing the same speed, so shouldn't be too worried about them catching each other. So Alaska's been sitting here for a long time. I'm surprised he hasn't called for anything yet. Gravity 8 Lima Hotel, thank you very much. Identified at 317, continue climb, flight level 380.
Continue climb, flight level 380, Gravity 8 Lima Hotel.
Yeah, 1 hour seems to be the magic mark. Started to get all of a sudden a whole bunch of people logged on here. We went from having one guy on the ground to 4 people, just like that. So, and some airborne airplanes. Now we're going to get interesting. And sometimes you just got to stick it out. Like as a Vancouver controller, as any controller, as a VATSIM controller, I sometimes, you know, after an hour and nothing happening, you just start to lose the not, I hate to say the will to live, but you start to lose the will to continue staying online and staring at a blank screen with nothing happening. So, but sometimes you just got to stick with it. You just got to stick with it, and it's amazing how quickly that builds up again. Here's all of a sudden you go from, oh, there's nobody here, to, oh my gosh, look, there's tons of people here on the ground and doing everything. So, and of course, one thing that we were observing this last night, just Microsoft Flight Simulator has had such an impact on this network and on the flight simulation community in general, because the number of people flying what are obviously Microsoft Flight Simulator airplanes is just phenomenal. At any given point in this network, I'd say we're talking now at 60 to 70% of people flying are probably flying Microsoft Flight Simulator, just judging by the equipment type codes they're using. So, of course, there's tons of people who don't even have a type code filed, but for those that do, A320neo, there's out of 1,000, out of, let's see, 900 pilots online, there's probably at least 100, 200, maybe 300 Neos online here. Yeah. I'm just scrolling through this list here. There's probably... Air Canada 67, push and start is at your discretion. Call ready for taxi. Yeah, out of 924 pilot connections to the network, probably 120, 130 of them are A320 Neos. So that is filed as A320 Neos, and then probably another, at least 100 are filed as A320s and A321s. At least another 100, 200. So probably most of those A320 Neos are Microsoft Flight Simulator. Probably the regular 320s, probably a lot of them are also X-Plane as well. But you got to figure that right there is 10% of 15% of the pilots connected to the network are just flying the A320 Neo, which means that's probably Microsoft Flight Simulator for sure. Quite a few people flying the 7.3, which is nice to see still. Air Canada 67 information is still Alpha and altimeter in Vancouver 3034. Taxi Delta Hotel Lima, cross runway 13.
Altimeter is 3034. Taxi Delta Hotel Lima and cross runway 13. Air Canada 67.
You got another half dozen people flying TBMs. You probably got another 30 people flying Dreamliners.
Morning, Air Canada 96 clearance to Mexico City.
Air Canada 996 Vancouver, good morning. Clear to Mexico City via the Vancouver 1 departure. Radar vectors, Seattle VOR on course. Depart runway 08 right, squawk code 0737.
Canada 996 Twin Mexico City, Vancouver 1 departure, vector, Seattle, plan route, runway 08 right, squawk 0737.
Air Canada 996, that readback is all correct information. Alpha is current. Push back and start up at your discretion and call ready for taxi. And I still have some of these people.
The 8 is not really popping up.
Thank you very much, and give it another try now. Should be up there.
Got it.
I don't know why it wasn't there before, but that's okay. Yeah, so just kind of looking through the aircraft types that are filed on VATSIM, you got to think like a vast majority of people, no, maybe not a vast majority, but probably the majority of people are probably are probably flying Microsoft Flight Simulator these days, and it's not to. And I'm not trying to disparage the use of FSX, P3D, or X-Plane because I think X-Plane's a very viable alternative for people who like a certain type of aircraft. FSX and P3D are still very viable alternatives as well because the only trouble with, of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator right now is that the variety of aircraft available on it is still relatively small. Hence, everybody's flying the A320neo because it's one of the few good airplanes available for that sim. That the CRJ, and that's about it. I think that's about to change. I think we're about to see a real revolution now with when PMTT releases the 737 because that and the 320 are the two probably most popular airplanes in the world, in the real world, and also consequently on the VATSIM network as well. So when that one releases, it's going to open a floodgate of people wanting to fly that airplane. You're going to see nothing but like half the people on VATSIM are probably going to be 737s flying around for at least the first few weeks, first month or so after that plane releases. But it's not the only one that's on the horizon, and it's really kind of nice to see. There's a bunch of good stuff on the horizon. We've got what else have we got? So the Phoenix A320 project is also kind of in the beta phase, so that's a strong release candidate pretty soon. The Mad Dog also recently revealed that they are entering their beta phase as well. So their project is approaching a state of completion where they feel like it's approaching release time. It's getting ready for release, which is also great. And the one that sort of really kind of came a little bit out of left field, and yet it's kind of I think it's going to be a really interesting addition to the sim package is TFDI's MD-11, which will apparently release simultaneously for P3D and the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform, which I think is going to be that's going to be a really good airplane. TFDI did a really nice job with their 717. I'm not a big fan of the 717, but it's not because of what TFDI did with it. It's just I don't like the way the airplane is designed overall. I think the guidance system feels kind of Mickey Mouse to me. It feels like too simple, almost too simple, and it sort of has.
Coming up spot 6 hotel taxi.
Air Canada 996 Vancouver runway 08 right. The information is Alpha altimeter 3034. Taxi Juliet Lima, hold short of hotel.
Juliet Lima, hold short of hotel 08 right on 3034 Canada 996.
So I think the MD-11 is going to be a really fun airplane. It's going to feel, I think it's going to feel a great cargo niche. Anybody who loves flying cargo, loves flying for FedEx and UPS, that's a cargo airplane right there in the real world anyways right now. It's not really much of a passenger airplane anymore, but man, do the cargo airlines just use the pants off that thing. And, oh, shoot, it looks like Air Canada 67. And Air Canada 67, looks like you missed hotel there. Make the right turn on 13, taxi 13 Lima to hold short of 8 right.
Oh shit. Taxi via 12 via Lima. Making that 67.
No problem. And Air Canada 996, you can continue Lima short 13.
Lima short 13, Air Canada 996.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a real fun one. Now, they're not necessarily entering the beta phase yet. They're still, I think, strongly in the development phase. But they put a release page on their website. No, Air Canada 67, you're going the wrong way. Air Canada 67, you're heading the wrong way there. But let's do this. Are you ready for takeoff now?
From here, unable. We have to backtrack.
Yeah, Air Canada 67. Are you ready though for takeoff now?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, Air Canada 67, backtrack runway 08 right as required, and contact me airborne. Winds 06011, gust 17, clear for takeoff runway 8 right.
Backtrack 08 right, clear for takeoff, Air Canada 67.
Air Canada 966, correction, 996, taxi Lima Cross runway 13.
Lima Cross runway 13.
All right, this Air Canada, or this Canada Express 673 is airborne. He's just hopping just from one little airport to the next. Doesn't even show up most of these airports on my interface here. That's too early. It's all right. It's not that busy, so it's not a. At least it wasn't a disaster in the making there. Oh, sorry about that. My nice mouse, but I clicked this button and it shrinks everything right away. Goes to the task switching very easily. What do I think of the Phoenix 320? I tell you, from watching the videos, if they can pull off what they are demonstrating there and make it a package that performs well on the average simmer's computer, they've got a real winner there. The only problem with the Phoenix 320, and here's the problem, of course, is just it's not a problem with their aircraft per se, but just they're going to be competing with fly-by-wire. Fly-by-wire is offering their product for free, and here they are. They're going to charge. They haven't revealed what they're going to charge, but they're going to charge something for their 320. I'll have to say, it looks so much better than the Aerosoft 320. And again, not to disparage Aerosoft, but their 320 is very much kind of just like a day-to-day operation 320. It's not a hyper-realistic systems depth failures 320, whereas the Phoenix, I would say the Phoenix 320 looks more along the lines of the not the fly-by-wire, but the what is it, the Flight Sim Labs 320. Very high systems depth into it looks like that's the kind of aircraft where you're going to be able to fail just about anything. The fly-by-wire 320, I think they're going for it, but they're going to have their development cycle's a lot longer because it's all free. It's all people just volunteering and contributing. So, Air Canada 996, lineup runway 08 right.
Lineup runway 08,
yeah, I think the Phoenix 320 is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a really good airplane. I want to see where their price point is. The only trouble right now is that and Air Canada 67 Vancouver, continue climb. Stop the climb at 5,000.
Making 5,000, Air Canada 67.
And Air Canada 67, just double check to make sure you got the transponder on there. I just see the prime target only.
Trucking 1 Charlie, Air Canada 67.
There you go, Air Canada 67. Thanks, identified. Air Canada 996 Vancouver, contact me once you're airborne. Winds 06011, gust 17, clear for takeoff, runway 08 right.
Clear takeoff 0 right, call airborne, Air Canada 996.
Air Canada 67, turn right, heading 170.
Right, 170, Air Canada 67.
Vancouver Center United 1104 with you, flight level 350, and I'm about 52 miles northwest of Ann.
United 1104 Vancouver, good morning. Squawk code 0774.
0774, and if possible, can I get up to flight level 390?
United 1104, yeah, let me just get your identified on radar and I'll have that for you in a moment. And Air Canada 67, did you want to do a approach to a missed approach, or what did you want to do?
Some through touch and goes, low passes and land.
Okay, Air Canada 67, let's plan runway 08 right. So plan for an ILS runway 08 right. Maintain 5,000 and turn right heading make it 240.
Turn right 240 and 08 right, Air Canada 67.
Air Canada 996, 1,200 climbing 7,000, Vancouver 1.
Air Canada 996 Vancouver, thanks. Identified, climb 16,000.
I'm 16,000, Air Canada 996.
United 1104, you're identified, flight level 350, climb, you said 370, correct?
If possible, 390. I've got on my maps here that turbulence from 350 to 370.
Okay, United 1104, climb, flight level 390.
That's a 390 for United 1104. Thank you very much.
No problem. All right. Oh, here comes my WestJet. Oh no, he disappeared. I have my one WestJet that was inbound there. Air Canada 996 Vancouver, reaching 3,000 feet. Turn right, direct the Seattle VOR on course.
Passing 3,000 right, turn Seattle, Air Canada 996.
Air Canada 67, fly heading 260.
260, Air Canada 67.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Phoenix 320. The only trouble with having so many aircraft sort of all entering beta at the same time, the PMDG's 37, Phoenix's 320, and the Mad Dog all entering beta at the same time, is it makes me think they're going to release in kind of short order. I can't afford to buy all those airplanes at the same time. I'm going to need to space out my purchases there. So, yeah, I'm going to have to save my pennies for those things. The PMDG is kind of a no-brainer because I have the credit from buying the previous version there for P3D, but what was it? The NGXU. I bought the NGXU for P3D, so I've got the full like $99 credit towards the NG3. So that'll be a no-brainer, but I'll have to save my pennies and decide between the Mad Dog and the Phoenix A320. Probably going to lean towards the Mad Dog only because it's like I said, like we have the fly-by-wire 320 at our disposal. It's not great. It's getting better all the time, but it's still like there's tons of stuff that's missing that's not particularly well done yet. But it's going to take time. But that's the only thing that's going to kind of hinder the Phoenix 320 is, of course, they'll be competing. For those people that are not that serious about their simming, that really don't want the in-depth airplane, they'll probably be more than happy with the Phoenix 320. It does the job. It gets you from point A to point B. You can program the FMS, but it doesn't do everything really well yet. But it's getting there. Whereas Phoenix is going to launch with a lot of systems depth. So for those of us that like that systems depth, I think the Phoenix is going to do well. Again, it depends a little bit on the price point too. I mean, I'm now firmly stuck in this belief that the developers should be charging less, not more. The one thing about the TFDI MD-11 I saw was the price point is quite steep on it. It looks like it might be one of the most expensive airplanes to come to MSFS yet. I think they said it's $70 for one of the base packages, or you can pay $100 for both packages together, or you can pay $120 if you want both packages with the additional failure controls, which I would probably want to spring for. So, yeah, that's the only thing that's going to kind of make me balk at the MD-11. At the MD-11, it interests me and excites me. It's something new and different. I haven't flown the MD-11 before. Certainly, the ability to do lots of cargo runs is an advantage to me. I like the idea of doing that, but yeah, I might balk at the at the price point there. It depends on what they're going to charge for it. I really, like I said, like we don't know yet. They haven't released any pricing information. So, but TFDI's prices, they're pushing my limit. I probably won't go run out and buy it unless I get to see a lot of like really good reviews for it. Air Canada 67, descend 3,000, turn right heading 300.
Descend maintain 3,000, 10 right heading 300.
So we'll see what happens. But it's certainly for anyone that likes flying and likes flying airliners and as a Microsoft Flight Simulator user, these are getting to be exciting times now. There's a lot of stuff kind of reaching that cusp. We're approaching almost 2 years of this sim being available, and it's definitely getting interesting. I'm looking forward to a lot of these releases. I enjoyed the Mad Dog a lot in P3D, and I look forward to flying it again. Leonardo did a fantastic job with their airplane in terms of system depth, a very nice workable FMS, even added their icing simulations over time. They improved that airplane constantly over time, and the modeling was really nice as well. So it's a very unique kind of old school airplane like the 737, a lot of manual system control and everything, but still tons of fun. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure. Air Canada 996 continued climb flight level 330.
Level 330, Air Canada.
Air Canada 67, fly heading 350, descend 2000.
250, descend maintain 2000, Air Canada 67.
See this VFR going into Williams Lake, and that's one thing that, yeah, that's what kind of led me before, is the amount of VFR traffic flying on VATSIM is just spiked so much after Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, and even with the airliners becoming available again, it's still such a nice sim to fly VFR. Love flying VFR in that sim. Microsoft bring Google Maps. Yeah, even now, like the fidelity of most of what they've got in that sim is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Bing myself either, but what they have done with that technology is quite impressive. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 050 to intercept, clear the ILS, runway 08 right.
Turn right heading 050, Air Canada 67, to intercept ILS.
Yeah, but and I've got to say, like, because I did this just last night. A bunch of us got together and we did one of the bush tours. And if you haven't done the bush tours in Microsoft Flight Simulator, they are also great fun. We actually did it as a group, and I think they're good fun to do by yourself. They're even more fun as a group. The bush tours are really kind of well laid out, and they really kind of a fun little challenge within the sim, and because you've got to take VFR flying and you've got to take it pretty seriously, but it's also just a lot of fun to sort of explore and see what you can see out there, experience parts of the world you're not normally used to. Ember 9070 Vancouver, you're just leaving my airspace to the north. Anchorage Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Over advisory, Ember 9070, we'll see you later.
Take care.
Air Canada 67, established, requesting low pass.
Air Canada 67, on the mist, you can fly runway heading, maintain 5000. Winds are 08011, gust 17, and you're cleared low and over runway 08 right.
Requesting lower level, can we get 1000?
Air Canada 67, yeah, you're clear for the approach. You can go as low as you like. You're cleared to low and over on runway 08 right. On the mist approach, climb to 5000 on runway heading.
On the mist approach, climb 5000 on the mist approach, Air Canada 67.
Air Canada 996, you're leaving my airspace to the south. Seattle's not online. Surveillance service terminates. Switch to the en route frequency and have yourself a good day.
Yeah, 996, thank you.
Is this the WestJet here? Or did my WestJet disappear? My WestJet disappeared. Why do all my inbounds disappear today? Gonna give me a complex here. Alright, Jazz 119 slowly coming. He's still like an hour away. We'll stick around, I think, for him, and that'll be about it. But yeah. Yeah, if you ever have a chance, they'll do those bush tours. They're great to do. You can do them on the VATSIM network. With Velocity now, you can... With Velocity, you can... what am I trying to say here? You get like enough of a smooth experience that you can really enjoy kind of flying, like relatively close formation flying with your friends as you're trying to figure these things out. But yeah, like because if you've never looked at them, basically what the way they lay them out is they lay them out as a nav log. So there's a written nav log with a bunch of waypoints for you to kind of visit to get from one airport to the next. But it's just written as a VFR description, like fly down the coast until you see this river, and then you turn inbound and follow the highway down past the town of whatever the town's name is, and then continue on another 5 miles until you find the airport. But it's like it's just written descriptions, and if you want the heading and distance or timing is in there, but you know, they put it in your GPS, but it's much more fun to look out the window, read these instructions, and try and figure out exactly where they're trying to take you. And that's kind of the challenge. And you're sort of sitting there looking out the window and seeing all this beautiful scenery out there, but then you're like, is that the town they're talking about? Is that the river they're talking about? There's 6 rivers in a row here. Which river are they talking about? So it's a really kind of neat. It's just a really neat way to do it. I gotta say, like it's tons of fun. Um, I've done a bunch of them now. I've done. Let me see here. I have done probably 3 of the tours now, and some of them are short. Some of them are really quite long. Um, some of them are. There's one that goes up. You take a Piper Cub like from California up Nevada, almost to the Oregon border, and then back down like halfway through California, and it's like 10 hours of flying in the Cub. It's divided up into like short legs, like 20, 30-minute hops between airports. But so you can do them, you can do it like little spurts at a time. But just tons of fun if you can get your friends into the multiplayer. The multiplayer works even better. It's even smoother, and you can see the correct aircraft types very easily. Um, yeah, just tons of fun. I highly encourage anybody, and yeah, like I'm a pretty hardcore simmer, and I usually ignore like kind of like a lot of this achievement based stuff in the Sims because I'm more just like I'm here for the flight simulation, for the flying of the airplanes. But um, the best part is hearing their frustration when someone can't get their SFS running properly. Yes, that's the best part. That's the only problem. The flight simulator multiplayer, when it works, when you get it working, it works quite well. But the way it kind of works is basically you usually have to just join a group with friends. You have to have friends in your sim and add them, and then you create a group with them. And sometimes it takes like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 attempts to kind of create a group that everyone gets into, and then everyone appears in each other's sims. And once it works and you don't disconnect it, it works really well. But it can be excruciating getting it up and running. But when you get it up and running, like we did, like I said, we did it last night. It took us about 10 minutes to kind of get it all up and running and organized. But once we did, it was tons of fun. We bombed around like 3 different legs of this Australian tour. So touring the Great Barrier Reef. Basically, you fly down like 100 miles of the Great Barrier Reef, then you turn in and land at an airport. Then you take off again, fly back out, fly down like another 100 miles of the Great Barrier Reef. But just like 15, 20 miles at a time between different reefs and islands and everything. It was tons of fun. Really, really good tour. We had lots of fun doing it. It just sort of came up at the last minute. We weren't really planning on it, and then just last week, we're just hanging out in the controller chat, and we're like, yeah, you guys want to just go do some of those bush flights, and just like sure. So it just sort of came out of nowhere. Um, but yeah, it was tons of fun. 4 controllers in trying to fly together and trying not to hit each other as they land at these little airports. Air Canada 67, roger. Maintain runway heading 5,000 for now.
Maintain heading 5,000 for now. Air Canada 67.
And then we ended up the last airport we did for the night was it had 2 crossing runways, and there were 4 of us. So we decided to each of us land on a different runway. So we all tried to land and meet at the intersection of the 4 runways. Unfortunately, the intersection was not equal from the threshold of all the runways. So 3 of us managed to hold short, but the runway was a really short little strip of land in front of the hold short point. So rolled right the last guy rolled right through the intersection. But that's what happens when you get 4 controllers flying online. They're like, let's go nose to nose on 4 different runways and see if we can hit each other. But it was just so much fun, and like formation flying and trying to spot these things. Tons of fun doing those bush tours. If you ever get a chance, especially to do it with a couple of friends, tons of fun. I really have enjoyed those. Seems like all of my inbounds are disappearing though, unfortunately. Very disappointing. We did get a few people log on for the departure though, so that's kind of nice to see. But yeah, I think we'll put in about another hour here. Basically, that Jazz that's coming in from the east. I don't think we can see him on our radar yet. He's right about here. But once we get him, I think he'll be kind of the last thing we kind of do at this point. That's the last thing I'm planning on at this point. Because after that, yeah, like I said, I gotta get out and do some other stuff with my day. But got at least a little bit of traffic here in Vancouver. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 240.
Right heading 240, Air Canada 67.
yeah, I just have to get this other stream I recorded from last week up onto my channel. I've been just working so much, I haven't barely had time to do anything. When you work nights, even when you do wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're just in a daze for hours trying to sort of get your brain up and running again. So really was a very unproductive weekend for doing anything besides working. Trying to just be awake and conscious enough just for my work life at least. Plan, touch and go, make another loop, high speed, low pass, and full stop landing. Okay, sounds good. Couple more vectors around. Oh, we got Emirates 902. There we go, flight plan filed. Victoria, yeah, that'll work. Alma, yeah, that works for me. Doesn't take long. If you're online, the traffic will eventually come. At least I have something to do. No, don't get me wrong. I'm appreciated. I'm grateful to have a little something to do, because otherwise I'd have 3 people just cruising along at cruise altitude, and that would be it. And boy, that would be boring at this point. I had one guy take off from Edmonton bound for Vancouver. He'd logged off. Had that one guy coming from Cancun up to Vancouver. He logged off. I got this jazz. I hope that they do not log off, because if they log off, then I'm just going to log off. And I'm just going to do it because it's the in thing to do. Let's see, we got one guy here. Turkish 6371. No, not him. Sergey from UK ODS 645 from Juneau coming down to Vancouver. He just took off from Juneau a few minutes ago and inbound to Vancouver. Okay, so we got another guy inbound here. Let's have a look at arrival time. Estimated 18:31. Yeah, that's 1:30 local for me, my local time. So that's kind of pushing the end of when I was planning to log off. But if he keeps coming, maybe we'll stay on long enough for him. But then it turns into that VATSIM. One more airplane. One more airplane. One more airplane. How is it 3 in the morning?
At 11:04. I'll try flight level 370. It's even worse actually up here.
Okay, United 1104, descend flight level 370. Let me know how it is.
Down to 370. United 1104, and it's severe turbulence up at flight level 390.
Okay, copy that. I'll let anybody else coming through that way know. Air Canada 67, descend 3000, fly heading 260.
Descend 3000, 260, Air Canada 67.
Grab a pen and, alright, so, let's type up a PIREP here. Type A320neo. Sorry, I'm just writing a note for my PIREP here. Turbulence severe. Flight level 390. Jazz logs off, I know. Sergey. I think it's Sergey. Anyways, yeah, that's the guy in ODS 645 in a Mad Dog. In a Mad Dog. I wonder if he's beta testing the new one or if he's flying the old one. I'm just looking on VATSPI. I have VATSPI going on my second screen here with my streaming software. I try not to look at it too much when I'm actually controlling, because I think it's kind of a little bit of a cheat, if you will. But just to sort of see what's going to happen in the stream and make sure I'm not going to be bored to tears for the next little while. Oh, and we lost another airplane. We're just losing airplanes left, right, and center here off my streams. There goes the gravity whatever he was. But we're getting another one here. So we're kind of 1516 here. It's going over to Calgary. 350, that works. Right. Vancouver 1. So we got a few airplanes on the ground here. It's not the I think is this guy up here? Yeah, there he is. ODS 645. It's already on my radar scope way up here. So okay, good. So it'll take him. I don't think it's going to take him an hour and a half to get. Maybe it'll take him about an hour and a half. Maybe an hour and a half. Let's see if Jazz is over here yet. Nope, Jazz is not quite on my radar yet, but he's got to be getting close. No, I keep VATSPy on my other screen. I don't look at it when it's busy. I try not to use it as a cheat to figure out who people are. But I do like to use it just, especially like I said, when I'm streaming, just to sort of figure out like, okay, who's Air Canada 67, fly heading 300, descend 2000.
Heading 300, 2000, Air Canada 67.
Just to sort of figure out like inbounds and like if I'm going to get like a wave of traffic to look forward to at some point. That's the real reason why I have VATSPy open. When I'm actually controlling, I like to try and, use the controller scope to my advantage. I cheated a little bit with the Ember 9070 there because I just couldn't figure out what the Ember 9070 was.
Vancouver Centre, good day. This is Emirates 902. We have information Alpha and requesting IFR clearance to San Francisco, please.
Emirates 902, Vancouver Centre, good morning. You're cleared to San Francisco. The Vancouver 1 departure, radar vectors Victoria VOR, and flight plan route. Departure runway 08 right, squawk code 0701.
Roger, that's the Vancouver 1 departure, vectors to Victoria. And that's squawk 0701, Emirates 902.
Air Canada 67, turn right heading 350.
350, Air Canada 67.
Emirates 902, your readback is correct. Information Alpha is current. Pushback startup at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Roger, will do. Thank you. Emirates 902.
Still got this Alaska here. He's been here for an hour and a half now. Yeah, lost the gravity. Pity. And Smooter. Hi. A real pain trying to upgrade my Navigraph. Great to have it in the sim, but can only run the demo. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. The biggest problem I've had with Navigraph in the Microsoft. Yeah, maybe Alaska's just spectating. That's very possible. That's very possible. But the only reason I don't think he's just spectating is because he actually bothered to file a flight plan. So usually if you get someone who's just logged on just to observe and spectate, usually they don't bother filing a flight plan. They just sit there with no flight plan forever. So if someone goes to the effort of filing a flight plan, Air Canada 67, turn right heading 030 to intercept, cleared ILS 08 right. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 060 for the intercept, clear to ILS, runway 08 right.
060, clear for ILS 08 right, Air Canada 67.
Yeah, that's my only reason why I don't think he's just spectating. I think he logged on, he was going to fly, and then he had to walk away for some reason, had to go do some stuff, so maybe he is just spectating, you never know. But yeah, back to Navigraph. I haven't had too much problem with Navigraph. I've got everything working. If you have only the demo showing up, maybe try, I hate to say it, just try uninstalling it and then reinstalling it. Maybe it'll recognize better. Okay, 67 Roger. Maybe that'll recognize that you're then a full-fledged subscriber and figure it out at that point. Because, yeah, I haven't had too many problems with it once I get it running. My biggest problem with Navigraph is that it seems like every second time I start the sim, it wants to log on again. It does not have a very long memory of your login, which is just, you go and like start a stream or something, and you have to log in yet again. So that's my biggest problem with Navigraph these days. It does not have a very long memory for being logged in. There must be a strong wind out of the northwest because this walker here is doing like a really slow speed, 370 knots at 360, and the United's just jetting along at 530. So there must be a really strong wind coming from the west here. Yeah, that's my first instinct. If something doesn't work, uninstall it, reinstall it, see if it works. Yeah, because I haven't had too many problems with the Navigraph charts in the sim. They do work when as long as I'm logged in, as long as the login is recognized, it works completely. Every once in a while, I'll try to search for an airport, or I'll try to load the charts, and it won't load. You just see the little circle appear, and it's just loading forever. As soon as that happens, if I just close the chart screen and open it again, it seems to work just fine. So yeah, I don't think that should be too much of a problem. Oh, we have an Oceanic controller. Oakland Oceanic. That's ZAK is Oakland Oceanic. Starting to get a fair number of controllers online here. I'm going to get rid of this flight plan list. I don't need all this stuff on this screen, really. If I've got it on my second screen, I don't need this over here. Go away. See, now this guy's going to CBA8, which is just a little short of Prince George there. He's doing like a little milk run. Beaverly. And it's about, looks like it's probably about 10 miles outside of Prince George, if even that. So maybe after that he's going to go to Prince George, and we'll have to give him some service. So maybe I should pull up my Prince George weather and just plan on that. Air Canada 67 Vancouver. You can call me on the mist. You can, or on the go. You can continue to fly runway heading, maintain 5,000. Call me airborne again. The wind 060 at 11, gusting 17. Cleared for touch and go. Runway 08 right.
Silver touch and go. After miss approach. Fly runway heading 5,000. Air Canada 67.
I feel like this ATIS should have advanced. I don't think it advanced properly at some point. All right, CYXS. Looks like runway 33 in Prince George. Yeah, every once in a while I find, Navigraph, like it loses its connection to the server or whatever when it's running in the sim. And yeah, if you just close the Navigraph window altogether and then reopen it from the menu bar at the top, I find that usually reconnects to the server properly. So that, yeah, I haven't had like a problem where it hasn't loaded. Eventually. So Oakland FSS is open, but we don't have too many people coming in from the Oceanic anyways. I'm hoping like the WestJet guy that was coming in from the southeast logs in again. I hope his sim didn't crash. I shouldn't complain when people log off, because maybe they're not logging off, maybe their sim crashed, and then so maybe I should not complain. Alright, he's gonna be doing the touch and go momentarily here. Do we have the Jazz? There's my Jazz. Logs off. Oh, please don't log off. I've only had a limited number of airplanes today. I'd like to see a couple of arrivals actually make it all the way down here. Definitely getting some good North American ATC for a Tuesday. Tuesday? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday today? It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. Sorry, I'm still in a little bit of a daze, like especially because yesterday especially was a holiday as well too. So it was family day, so that also kind of threw everything off. Kids didn't go to school, so that kind of threw off my understanding of what day of the week it is as well. So yeah, sometimes it's funny how you just totally lose track of what day it is. No clue sometimes what day it is. Nobody seems in a big rush, but yeah, we got 320 Neo, 320 Neo, and
Airborne climbing 5,000. Around the heading.
Air Canada 67 or Roger, and at 3,000, turn right heading 170.
At 3,000, 170, Air Canada 67.
Yeah, no sign of those other two guys. And then I got one inbound to Vancouver from a long way away. I don't even know where he's coming from. Let's have a look here. And then we've got Air Canada 861 from London Heathrow, showing an ETA of midnight 9 Zulu time. Midnight 09, so we're not going to be around for that one. But Sergey from Juneau is looking like he's going to get here at about 20 after. 1819, and Jazz at 1807. So we're going to have a couple of arrivals in short succession, and then after those guys arrive, I'm going to probably pull the plug on the stream just because, like I said, other things to do, but glad we got some traffic, some stuff going on here. I always worry that with ATC streams, at least like with flight streams, I control the pace of what happens. So with flight streaming, I know what's going to happen, and I look for ATC and other things to happen. Yeah, I know what's going to happen. I know when it's going to be. I know I'm going to be able to provide some interest and activity and things that happen. But with VATSIM, it's a lot more passive as a controller. You're waiting for things to happen in front of you. So I try to make sure I have some conversation topics to look at and talk about. Yeah. ATC streams are kind of when they're interesting, I think they are more interesting. When there's a lot going on, they are a lot more interesting because they can be so hectic, but they can run both ways. They can be super boring as well. The only trouble with Tower now is Tower doesn't work in Euroscope, and it's so disappointing. I discovered this 1 or 2 ATC streams ago that Tower View does not work with Euroscope anymore because of the velocity update. Euroscope needs an update to be compatible with it. So you can kind of do it, but it really doesn't work because the airplanes will just freeze and they'll just sit there in the sim while they're moving around in the scope. They'll freeze in the sim. Half the airplanes will not appear in the sim. So there's some real issues with it with Euroscope, and I hope that they're working on an update because it's a really good, really fun. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 270. I really should keep this terminal view up here because there's not that much happening on this view. But I need this terminal view open.
Emirates 902, ready to taxi.
Emirates 902, Vancouver, runway 08 right. Information is Alpha, altimeter 3034. Taxi, Juliet Lima, cross runway 13.
Juliet Lima, cross runway 13, 08 right, Emirates 902.
There we go, getting a little bit of activity. Haven't even heard from Air Canada 15, 16 yet, and yeah, Alaska's just creeping. He's just creeping my network here. But he was here before I even got here, so I don't know how much traffic he saw before we got here, before I logged in. But yeah, if that's what he's doing, if he's just watching traffic, why go out there to go to the trouble of filing a flight plan? That's the only thing I see as being kind of a little weird with it, right? Anyways. What do I know? We'll have that Jazz flight soon enough. He's just about to pass over. No, he's gone! No! I will never get a... Are you? Oh, I didn't even notice you're doing 340 knots. No, the Jazz is gone! Oh, for crying out loud. So far, one for 5 arrivals. Hopefully this ODS 645 does not log off, or I'm just gonna throw in the towel. He has no remarks, so let's check that ICAO page there. Air Canada 67, descend 3000, fly heading 300.
300, 3000, Air Canada 67.
Let's see if ODS is a real world call sign ever. Oh, Wikipedia. Sorry, last call for Vancouver, say again?
Air Canada 1516, radio check.
Air Canada 1516, Vancouver. You're a little bit faint, but otherwise I read you 5.
Roger, Air Canada 1516. Good to see you, because I parked to Calgary International Airport, proposing flights of the 350.
Canada 1516. Yes, I'll have to send you an email when I get a moment. Air Canada 67, fly heading 350, descend 2000.
350, 2000, Air Canada 67.
I didn't even notice who was logged in there. So ODS is Odessa Airlines from the Ukraine. So it's with a name like Sergey, he probably is from the Ukraine potentially. So it probably is supposed to be Odessa Airlines. Sometimes you don't know if it is like a a made up call sign along the way as well. So Walker 1543 Vancouver. Do you want the latest Ketchikan weather? I've got the 1653 weather here. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 050 to intercept, cleared ILS, runway 08 right.
050 to intercept, Air Canada 67.
Walker 1543 Vancouver. Nope, he stepped away for a little while probably. Alaska going up to Juneau. We get a lot of overflights in Vancouver going up and down the west coast here, between Alaska and the rest of the U.S., so it can often be very interesting. Jazz is gone now. Oh, I hope his sim didn't crash. How annoying. And Air Canada 67, you've gone through the localizer. Continue the right turn heading heading 110 to re-intercept. Still cleared the ILS 08 right. I misjudged with that high-speed turn.
Emirates 902, holding short, 08 right.
Air Canada 67, continue right turn 110 to re-intercept. Cleared ILS 08 right.
Air Canada 67, established.
Emirates 902 Vancouver, contact me once you're airborne. Wind 060, 11 gust 17, clear for takeoff, runway 08 right.
Clear for takeoff, 08 right, Emirates 902.
Just not having any luck with these arrivals, though. Oh, Jazz, come back. Oh, Tessa. This is not going to work with a high-speed pass, is it? And Emirates 902, immediate takeoff, please. I've got traffic on a high-speed final behind you.
Copy that, going immediate takeoff, Emirates 902.
Thank you. Air Canada 67, if you can, reduce your speed a little bit. There's traffic just lining up for departure on the 08 right.
I think it will be easier. Can you do it in like 360?
Air Canada 67, 360 is approved.
360 approved, Air Canada 67.
360 at 340 knots and an A321, 1,000 feet above the ground. VATSIM.
Air Canada 1506, we got information. ARPA on board and ready for the clearance.
Air Canada 1516 Vancouver, you're cleared to Calgary via the Vancouver 1 departure, vectors AD6, flight plan route, depart runway 08 right, squawk code 076, 0741. Looking at the wrong line here.
Air Canada 1516, we are cleared to Calgary International Airport via Vancouver 1 departure and departure runway 08 right. Climb and maintain flight level 350, squawk 0741. Air Canada 1516.
Air Canada 1516, that's almost correct, except you'll have to read the SID to find out the top altitude on the departure. It's not 350.
Air Canada 1516, sorry, I forgot. What was the initial altitude, please?
And Air Canada 1516, it's printed on the SID.
I should check it out.
Emirates 902, crossing 3,300.
Emirates 902, identified, climb flight level, climb 16,000.
Climb 16,000, Emirates 902.
Air Canada 67, the winds are 060, 11 gust 17. You're clear the low and over, runway 08 right.
Clear for low and over, 08 right, Air Canada 67.
That was my bad. I botched that. I was not thinking about the fact you were going to do the high-speed low and over, so I was kind of thinking just a normal approach pattern for you. Emirates 902, turn right, direct the Emirates 902, turn right, direct Victoria, VOR on course, Yankee Yankee Juliet.
Right, direct to Victoria, and proceed on course, Emirates 902.
Walker 1543 Vancouver.
Go for 1543.
Walker 1543, there you are. I've got the latest Ketchikan weather for you from from 1653 Zulu. Did you want to copy that?
1543.
Walker 1543, the Ketchikan weather at 1653 Zulu. I'll get it right one of these times. The winds were calm, 10 miles visibility, broken clouds 9,500. Temperature -3, dew point -9, altimeter 3064.
We have the weather 1543.
Walker 1543. Let's see. For traffic, descend now, flight level 320. And then below 320, descend your discretion to 14,000.
Alright, initially down to flight level 320, and then after that, pilot's discretion down to 14,000. Walker 1543.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, mechanics will love you after this. Yeah, high speed 300 knot pass.
Icon 7 climbing 5,000 on a heading.
Air Canada 67, thank you. At 3,000, turn left heading turn right heading 170. And was this going to be the full stop now?
Yes, full stop.
Roger. Alright, so I just see this conflict coming up here with Odessa and Walker, so if I just get him down early, because I know he's going to need to start down to get into Ketchikan sooner than later, so better just start him down now and resolve that conflict early. Alaska 846 Vancouver, are you with me? Get somebody else on my frequency here. All the airplanes must talk to me now. Emirates 902, continue climb flight level 350.
Continue climb 350, Emirates 902.
I don't think he's going to be too much of a problem actually with the Alaska, but what the heck, we'll just play it safe anyways. Not that one, that one. Yeah, that's not a problem anyways, but whatever. I'm not sure if he's in the control zone or if he's in the just underneath the terminal airspace. I think he's just underneath the terminal airspace. He's not. He's just landing. He's not in the control zone. So, Air Canada 67, turn right, heading 260.
Right, heading 260. Air Canada 67.
Did I send him a message?
Good morning, Alaska 846, checking in flight level 360 over Tatoosh.
Air Canada, correction, Alaska 846, Vancouver, good morning, squawk code 0722.
0722 for Alaska 846.
Let's get this Odessa talking to me as well, since we're just almost there. Get a little bit of interest going on.
And Air Canada 1516, ready for the full lead back.
Air Canada 1516, sorry, did you say you're ready for pushback or for taxi?
No, sir, we are ready for the full lead back, sir.
Air Canada 1516, okay, yeah, go ahead, the read back.
Azure 1516, we are clear to Calgary International Airport, Vancouver 1 departure, initial climb altitude is 3,000 feet, departure on 808 right, and climb and maintain flight level 350, and clock 0741, Air Canada 1516.
Air Canada 1516, the readback is correct information. Bravo is current. Pushback startup at your discretion and call ready for taxi.
Azure device ready for taxi, Air Canada 1516.
Let's just see what it says. Sure. SIDS, Vancouver 1. Should just say one thing.
Vancouver Control, Oscar Delta Sierra 645, flight level 330, good morning.
And Oscar Delta Sierra, standby 1. All right, Oscar Delta Sierra 645 Vancouver, squawk code 0737.
Control, can you repeat that again? Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, squawk code 0737.
Roger, squawk code 0737, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Alaska 846 Vancouver, you're identified, flight level 360, welcome. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 35, make it 300 and descend 2000.
2000 and 300, Air Canada 67.
And Alaska 846, did you copy that? You are identified at 360.
Oh, we copy that, Alaska 846.
Now I got somebody out of Calgary, or Springbank, I think, probably, judging by where he is there. Yeah, I took off from Springbank, VFR 7500, down to Vancouver. It's going to take him a while to get there. Probably not going to stick around long enough for him to make it. Odessa 645, VancouverCentre, thank you. You're identified, flight level 330. I got a little yellow dot because they're just sort of close enough that they are going to be not a conflict per se, but Air Canada 67, fly heading 350.
350, Air Canada 67.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, you're identified, flight level 330. And now he's vanishing off the network as well. Oh, for crying out loud. I cannot keep a single Vancouver arrival online, can I? This is just, ugh. I have no, I'm beginning to lose all ambition to do this. Not one of these arrivals. There were like 5 different arrivals scheduled.
Delta Sierra 645, can you read it now?
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, A-firm, I've got you 5.
Okay, ready 5 by 5, thank you.
I see him indicating a descent. Really got to keep this terminal view open so I can see what Air Canada 67 is doing here, because I keep on closing it, switching to see what else is going on, and then forgetting to come back to it. I got to keep defaulting to this one. Air Canada 67, turn right heading 050 for the intercept. Cleared the ILS, 08 right.
050 to intercept. Cleared fly, that's 08 right, Air Canada 67.
And Seattle Center just came online, so that's nice. See that little boundary there, so now we can send this guy off. Emirates 902, contact Seattle Center now on 135.45. Have a good day.
13545, thank you, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
And Oscar Delta Sierra 645, traffic at your, it's going to be your 11 o'clock for about 20 miles. Should pass off your left side as a A320 down at 320. Walker 1543, traffic at your 11 o'clock for about 15 miles is a southeastbound, let's see, MD80 at 1,000 above.
1543.
Air Canada 67, Vancouver, the winds 070 at 10. Clear to land, runway 08 right.
Clear to land, 08 right, Air Canada 67.
And he's gone. Oh my god. I cannot keep any of these arrivals. Cannot keep any of these arrivals online. It's driving me absolutely batty at this point. Not one arrival at the very start of the session made into Vancouver, and that's it. I have now had three people vanish off scope, and if this Odessa 645.
This is Oscar Delta Sierra 645. I was disconnected and now back online. Radio check, please.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, I read you 5, and proceed direct Trina, Tango Romeo Echo November Alpha.
Copy that. Proceeding direct to Trina.
Just try and get him in a little sooner, because he's going to be the only arrival in Vancouver today, apparently. Yeah, Air Canada 67's on an official arrival. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like people from other airports that have come in and actually are trying to fly a whole flight down here, and just like, oh my god, I have never seen so many people log off when they see me controlling. It's gonna make me a bit nervous about what's going on here. All right. All the overflights are doing just fine. There goes the Walker starting down in the catch can now. Yeah, it was probably a good call. He would have been kind of a little bit hard pressed just with that. Just would have just wanted to start his descent right about the time he passed a beam, the Odessa 645 there. So probably a good call to get him down to 320 just a little bit early. Doesn't make too much of a difference on the cruise, but boy, it made it a little easier on him without getting trapped and being unable to descend. Because I've seen people do that. They get trapped above some other traffic they're crossing, and then they got to wait, and then all of a sudden they're way behind the 8 ball in the descent, and speed breaks open all the way down. Overspeeding, missing all the restrictions. It doesn't take much to be really high on the approach, or really high on the descent. So now that most people are planning their constant descents with the VNav, I mean, back in the day when we used to kind of use just simple rules of thumb, 3 miles per 1,000 feet or whatever, it was you often ended up having quite a lot of slack, a lot of leeway in your descents. But now with everyone's FMS programming the most optimal descent all the time, which is good. Don't get me wrong, it's good because it's obviously more fuel efficient. It's better for everybody's flying. But boy, does it make it challenging to recover if there is some kind of a mistake. If the top drop gets missed for whatever reason, there's no room for recovery after that. Air Canada 67, welcome back to Vancouver. Did you want to go park at the Delta Yankee apron there again?
We would like to go to the maintenance. I want to vacate it on Delta.
Air Canada 67, okay. The Air Canada maintenance hangar is a pretty long taxi, but you can taxi left on Echo, Delta, Hotel, Juliet, Mike, Quebec to get to the Air Canada hangar.
Left on Echo, Delta, Hotel, Juliet, Mike, Quebec to Air Canada hangar.
You got it. All the way up in this corner up here. But knowing you want to go to the maintenance hangar, he said the mechanics were gonna be mad. And he just keeps popping in and out.
I'll try to go the right way this time.
The effort's appreciated. Walker 1543 Vancouver. You're about to leave my airspace to the north. Anchorage Center is not online. You can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates and have a safe arrival into Ketchikan.
Have a nice one. Walker 1543.
No, you're going the wrong way again. Whatever, I don't care. Park anywhere. Oh, mercy. Mercy me. And now we're just going to sit here, staring at nothing for a little while here. Well, we got Air Canada 1516 is departing here, so that's good. But beyond that, I really got nothing but 2 overflights and 1 arrival who's not going to start down. He's not going to arrive for almost an hour, 45 minutes. He's going to start down in probably about 35 minutes or so. It's okay. Yeah, those are the jazz hangers up there, but that's fine. Air Canada 1516 Vancouver. Information Alpha, runway 08 right, altimeter 3037. Taxi out Golf, Hotel, Lima. Cross 13 and hold short of 08 right. Charts would be a good idea for parking.
1516, taxi to runway 08 right, current altimeter 3037. Golf, Hotel, Lima, cross 3, correction 13, and 08 right.
Yeah, can't be bothered to load the charts. Well, I mean, and I'm not going to complain. You just came and did circuits just for the heck of it, so I'm not going to complain too much as long as you got the ILS frequency tuned in. But it does make a difference when it's busy, and that's one thing that really it does. It's a real kind of pet peeve of mine on VATSIM is people who accept a clearance with charts and then don't read the charts. Like, accept the Vancouver one, and then they climb up to 350, and it's like, no, that's not what the chart says. If you don't have the chart, just say so. That's the biggest thing of all at the end of the day. If you don't have a chart, just say so. And I will gladly give you alternate information. If you don't have the taxi chart, just say so. I will provide progressive taxi as you go. I'll tell you when to turn left, when to turn right. But you need to tell me, and that's the biggest thing, is you need to tell me if you don't have it, and I can then I can deal with it. But my basic assumption is that everyone has a chart until they tell me they don't.
Icon 610, we have the hangars, and the maintenance guys don't look impressed. We might be in trouble.
Air Canada 67, you better refresh that resume, but thank you so much for flying with us. Yeah, I mean, in the real world, it kind of is the law. If you accept a clearance, it's the law that you understand what the clearance is, and you're going to get a couple of nasty phone calls, and if you don't know what you're doing. But yes, in VATSIM, it's not a requirement, but it makes life easier on everybody if you do read the charts, and if you just don't have them, that's the biggest thing is say so. I can deal with it. I can totally deal with it. If you don't have the Vancouver 1 departure, say so. Okay, you don't have the Vancouver 1, very, very well. I'm just going to give you alternate instructions. Okay, instead of the Vancouver 1 departure, it's just going to be fly runway heading, maintain 7,000, basically the same thing. The whole point of the Vancouver 1 departure, or any SID, was to make life easier for controllers to issue the same thing over and over and over again. They always say the same thing. Always fly heading, maintain 7,000, or fly runway heading, maintain 7,000, fly runway and maintain runway heading, maintain 7,000. So, it shortens these things, and it also, the other thing that's all on every SID plate as well is a comm failure procedure. So, if you have a communication failure after departure, here's your preferred procedure. Maintain last assigned altitude for 10 minutes, and then climb to your flight plan level, or whatever. But there's a common communication frequency, or a common communication failure.
VancouverCentre, Oscar Delta Sierra 645. Question: shall I expect runway for arrival 08 right and arrival procedure kind 2?
I'm sorry, guys. Oscar Delta Sierra 645 Vancouver Center. It's going to be runway 08 left for departure. And yes, you filed the kind 2 arrival. You can fly that arrival if it's in your flight plan.
Okay, understood. Kind 2, and for arrival, 08 left, correct?
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, all correct.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
We just had a phone call and ended with verbal warning this time. Okay, you don't need to polish up the resume yet, but let's start reaching out there and seeing who's hiring. Love the idea of VATSIM, fine speaking, a real trial. The key thing with VATSIM, and there's a couple of points to that. Yes, there's a huge expectation when you get on VATSIM that people have a certain level of skill when you get on VATSIM, but at the same time, there's always an element of practicality to it. At least I certainly try to always have an element of practicality to it. I know that I don't think that any of the people that are in my airspace right now are real world pilots. Maybe one or two of them might be real world pilots. They might even just have a private license. Um, but I know that probably there's a good chance that none of these people are real world pilots. So I expect people to make mistakes. I don't mind that people make mistakes, and I certainly don't mind that people don't have charts. I understand that Navigraph costs good money every year to have. I don't mind paying for it. I know not everyone has the budget to do so. So I will point people to where you can get charts, free charts online if you want me to. If you ask the question, I will gladly point it to you. Air Canada 1516 Vancouver. Contact me once you're airborne. Winds 070 at 10. You're clear for takeoff. Runway 08 right.
You're clear for takeoff at Canada 1516.
I'm very willing to listen to people learn and help people learn. So if someone good controllers will be listening to a person's voice, and they'll have a good sense after talking to someone for a couple of transmissions of whether this person really sounds like they know what they're doing or whether they're just they're struggling. And if they're struggling, that's okay. We will take it a little slower with those people who sound like they're struggling. We'll provide helpful little tips. We'll kind of keep a closer eye on them. So it's not a bad thing to be a new person to be. It's not a bad thing to be a new person. It's not bad to be a little bit nervous about talking on VATSIM, but the best thing to do is get out there and try it a little bit. Watch some videos so you can learn, or observe some streams, observe some ATC. Do like the Alaska guy here and just sit here at an airport for 3 hours listening to the radio and listen to people talk, and you'll start to get a little bit more comfortable with how people talk and communicate. But get out there and try it. It doesn't hurt to try it. The key thing is if you are nervous and you're not sure that you're very comfortable with it, don't go to a busy airport. Don't go to an airport where there's lots of stuff happening. Pick someone that's a little quieter, having a little quieter morning. So I go to VATSPY. I go to my VATSPY and I look around VATSPY and I say, okay, Vancouver 4 departures. That's not terribly busy. He's got some stuff going on in his airspace. But I come down to here, Houston Tower, Houston Hobby Tower. There's nobody here, just a tower controller. He's an S1, so he's a trainer. He's a trainee as well, but he's not too busy. Or down here, San Diego, ground and tower online, and just 2 departures. It's not busy at all. So if I'm learning, go to those places. Go try those places out for size. Don't go to, don't go to Boston when it's Friday night ops and there's 6 people, 8 people, 10 people on the ground. Right now, it's even Boston's not too bad.
Aircraft is checked up and ready to go. Requesting IFR to Edmonton.
Air Canada 248 Vancouver. Hello again. You're cleared to Edmonton via the Vancouver 1 departure. Radar vectors Vidri flight plan route. Departure runway is 08 right. Squawk code 0755.
Cleared to Edmonton via Vancouver 1 08 right departure. Squawk 0755. Air Canada 248.
Air Canada 248, the readback is correct. Information Bravo's current. Push back and start up at your discretion. Call ready for taxi. As far as ChartFox is a great free alternative. It's not perfect though because it's just all it is really is a kind of a gathering.
Now airborne passing 2200 feet, heading 083.
Air Canada 1516 Vancouver, thanks. Identified. Climb 16,000.
Climb to 16, Air Canada 1516.
ChartFox is good, but all it is really in the end is kind of a search engine. So it's been preloaded with free charts that are available elsewhere on the internet, and then so it doesn't have fantastic coverage. Like Navigraph is just everything worldwide automatically. That's fantastic. Air Canada 1516, proceed direct, add 6 on course.
pleasure, proceed direct to ATC, Air Canada 1516.
Yeah, so ChartFox is good, but it doesn't have everything. I know it doesn't have a whole lot of charts for Vancouver loaded. If you want Canadian charts, the best place to go for Canadian charts if you don't want to pay for them. Sorry, Air Canada 248 ready for taxi?
Affirm.
Air Canada 248 Vancouver, runway 08 right, information is Bravo, altimeter 3037. Taxi Delta, Hotel Lima, cross runway 13. Moment for redemption.
Taxi via Delta, Hotel Lima, cross 13. Second left, 248.
Yeah, so that's why like ChartFox is okay, but if you really want a good alternative for charts in the U.S. and Canada. Sorry, say again the last?
I will not try and get lost this time.
No problem. Yeah, www.flightplan.com, fltplan.com. It's a real-world flight planning service. This is used by real-world corporate pilots for flight planning. It has all U.S. and Canadian charts preloaded into it. The only thing is that in order to see Canadian charts, you have to have a user account. But the user accounts are free, totally free. You may see a few ads here and there asking you to visit certain FBOs, but the user accounts are totally free. So flightplan.com, totally free U.S. and Canadian charts, so you can find the Canadian and U.S. charts on there. Learning, but still freeze on VATSIM. Yeah, you know, and like I said, get out there, practice, do simple stuff. I put out a video on my YouTube channel like about a year ago now, I think. That was just like a demonstration of just doing circuits at an airport, and that's what I highly recommend for people. Oh, Alaska finally logged off. That's what I highly recommend for people who are new to VATSIM, is just go and do something easy like circuits. Go fly a circuit pattern. Go pick a nice slow airplane like a Cessna 172 or something, nothing very fast. Go do circuits nice and slowly around an airport with a tower controller, and just do that for a half an hour. Do 3, 4, 5, 6 circuits just to sort of get used to it. Don't start with like a crazy IFR flight, complicated departure out of New York JFK or something like that. Start easy on yourself. So go find, just like I said, go to VATSPY, find those towers where there's not much going on. Caldwell, New Jersey right now. If I was doing this right now, I'd say Caldwell, New Jersey, Wilmington, anywhere where there's just a tower, where there's not a whole lot of airplanes. Daytona Beach has got a ground controller, so that's not so good. But I mean, the ground controller's not bad. Don't get me wrong, that helps too. But yeah, try find somewhere with a tower. San Diego's a good place. It's not a terribly busy airport. There's a couple of airplanes on the ground. Go to your VATSPY, see where there's a controller that's not too busy, and that way they can give you the time. They can work with you if your phraseology's not great. They can help you out. That's my best advice, and that was what I advised when I did that video. So if you have a chance, it's on my YouTube channel. I can probably find it here if I just take a second. Where are you going? Air Canada 248 and Air Canada 248. I see you're on Delta 3 there. Are you ready for takeoff right now?
Yes, we are ready for takeoff. For crying out loud, I cannot. It's too complicated.
Air Canada 248, not a problem at all today. Backtrack as required. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind 070 at 10. You're clear for takeoff, runway 08 right.
Backtrack 0 right. Contact with an airborne. Good, I feel like I can that's for it.
Okay, let's see if I can. Don't play that. Don't play that. Sorry. Just trying to find the video I'm looking for here. You know what? If I hit playlists, I'll find it really quick, I think. No, maybe I won't. Why can I not find what I'm looking for? Oy. I have too many videos on my channel. This part of the problem, guys. I have too many videos published on my channel. I have to go a long way back to find the one I'm looking for. I'll find it here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. It's just a question of finding it.
Canada 3121 ready to be IFR to Calgary.
Canadian 3121 Vancouver. You're cleared to Calgary via the Vancouver 1 departure, radar vectors to radar vectors add 6 flight plan route. Depart runway 08 right, squawk code 0706.
Clear to areas filed, Vancouver 1 departure vectors to ATC, departure runway 08 right and squawk 0706, Canada Air 321.
Air Canada 07, correction. Correction, Canadian 3121. Your readback is all correct. Information Bravo's current. Push and start at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
We'll call ready for taxi, Canada Air 321, thank you.
There we go. All right. Now I can kind of get in there. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get this video in there.
Air Canada 1516, now reach flight level 16, correction 16,000.
Air Canada 1516, heavy, continue climb, flight level 350. Why won't it copy?
Continue to level 350 and Air Canada 1516.
There we go.
And Vancouver Center United 1104. I was on a call. I just want to make sure I didn't miss a handoff.
Nope, United 1104, just waiting for the handoff to be accepted.
Roger.
And speak of the devil, there it is. United 1104, contact Seattle now. 135.45. See ya.
Over to Seattle for United 1104. See ya.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I was just trying to put the, so this guy's readback was correct. I was just trying to put that link there in the chat. So there's...
Airborne 450.
Air Canada 248, Vancouver, identified, climb 16,000.
Climb maintain 16,000, Air Canada 248.
Air Canada 1516, proceed direct Menbo.
Proceed direct to Menbo, Air Canada 1516.
Air Canada 248, supposed to fly runway heading. Air Canada 248, proceed direct Vidri on course.
Direct Vidri, Air Canada 248.
Yeah, you know what? If you're trying, then that's the biggest thing of all. I think really in this world, you got to try. You got to get out there and you got to try. So as long as you're trying, then that's the biggest thing to me. Get out there, listen, try to talk to ground controller. Just get used to it. It's communicating with ATC is different than talking to a normal life, but it doesn't have to be. Like I said, pick the quieter frequency, so that way the guys and gals have more time to pay attention to you, to watch you a little more carefully, and help you out when you make mistakes. Most people on this network generally try to help you out if you make a mistake. They don't jump all over you. There are a few controllers that do. I won't lie and say there are none, because there are a few that, like, the second you do something wrong, they're all over you, and that really kind of bugs me, because, like, at the end of the day, this network lives and dies by the pilots. The pilots will continue to fly around this network without controllers, but without pilots, there's no point in controllers even being here. So why drive away the pilots? Yes, it's frustrating. I get it. It's frustrating when people don't do the right thing. But again, this is a hobby network. This is not a network of experts. This is a network of amateurs trying to pretend to be experts. So when someone does something wrong, don't jump down their throat. Take it as a moment to help them learn the right way to do things. And that is the best way to treat VATSIM as far as a controller, as far as I'm concerned. And I get it when people get frustrated, controllers get frustrated because they're busy. When they're very busy and they don't have time to deal with a lot of rookies making a lot of mistakes, and their mistakes are causing more headaches. But take the time to help them learn, because if you do that in a constructive way, they'll come back again and they will learn. Air Canada 248, if that was you calling, climb flight level 330.
Climb maintain 230, again, that's 248.
I was just thinking about giving you that. I just wanted to finish my thought. Yeah, to me as a controller, if you help someone learn, they're going to come back. They're going to they're going to not make that mistake again, but B, they're going to come back and they're going to want to fly at your airport again. If you yell at them because they make a mistake, they may learn, but they're never going to come back and fly at your airport again. So what's the point? So I am a big believer in helping people on this network learn. It's one of the reasons I think why we're all here is for the fun of the simulation, but to try and be better pilots all the time. All right, I'm getting really hungry here, so I'm gonna really hope this guy gets down soon here. He's just showing, yeah, 22 after. Yeah, he's gonna pretty much land, and I'm gonna pull the plug as soon as he lands because I'm getting really quite hungry here, and it is getting quite late. So, not to say that it hasn't been fun because I have enjoyed this. It actually turned out to be a little busier than expected. Whenever I log in on a weekday morning, I'm always a little leery. I'm always a little worried about how much traffic I'm actually gonna get, but it's actually not too bad. Pretty reasonable amount of traffic. Alright, this guy is going to be approaching his top of descent point probably in the next 10 minutes or so. Um, Condition reporter, I never met her. Time to fly back to home base. Home base is Edmonton, I take it. No, Alaska's back. Alaska's back. Time to sit here for another 3 hours. He got kicked off the network for idle time. KMIA, and it says KMIA for you, so I'm so disappointed that Jazz disappeared, that WestJet disappeared. So frustrating. Now we got a couple of arrivals. We got an inbound from way down in the south, PIW 998 Los Angeles. I don't even know what PIW is, but yeah. Oh, and then the gravity came back on, so the gravity logged off because I guess he just had to go do something. I get that. I get that. It's more the arrivals. It's like why why did you log into VATSIM in the first place if you're gonna log off? Maybe some of them were sim crashes, but I can't believe that all those people were sim crashes. He's going to be coming to top of descent in probably another, well, 100 miles at the most, so. Oh, now it's getting a little quieter. I went from 8 viewers down to 3. I guess it got boring. Yeah, if you disappear, I'll just assume it's a sim crash as well. See, now I've always suggested, and I probably this is kind of a silly thing, but I've always wondered if we could do like a giant Canada control sector that does like at least half of Canada, like combined Vancouver, high level Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, high level, just like they have like the Eurocontrol high level controllers in Europe, just to sort of provide even a greater swath of coverage. Because during the day, it's still, you control a whole center and still it's not very busy. But then you could provide service to more people. Like that's at the end of the day, like that's what I'm here to do. Like I'm here to provide service to as many pilots as I can. Of course, you get these guys flying VFR that don't want to talk to anybody. You get the IFR flights that log off that don't want to talk to anybody. So who am I providing service to really at the end of the day? Yeah, we're reaching that point where it's not very exciting anymore. I see Canadians push back. They're getting ready to taxi, so that's good. Alaska's still just sitting there, flight plan filed and all. I am interested to see what they have to say about across the pond, though.
Canada 3121 ready to taxi.
Canadian 3121 Vancouver, runway 08 right. Information is Bravo, the altimeter 3037. Taxi Papa, Mike, Victor, and Lima, cross runway 13.
Taxi 08 right via Papa, Mike, Victor, Lima, cross runway 13, Canada 3121.
Yeah, so across the pond voting closed like 1 or 2 days ago, so I think they have to have a meeting to discuss their vote results and make sure that make sure that things are balanced. I know they yeah, the vote tries to make it as democratic as possible, but there are operational considerations to consider when airports are being selected for across the pond, and it includes making sure that you don't have a whole bunch of airports just because everyone won the vote. You don't have a whole bunch of airports right next to each other, like you don't have like Newark and LaGuardia and Kennedy all taking off at the same time, or like not London Heathrow and Gatwick both in the same event. Like you try to spread it out. So for a couple of reasons. First of all, there's staffing issues. If you have multiple airports in the same subdivision, you may not be able to muster enough staff to handle departures and arrivals at two major airports within a subdivision. Some subdivisions might be able to handle it, but it can be pretty difficult. So, but part of the joy of this event is kind of spreading the traffic around, having it be like a fairly large swath of the network that is very well staffed for a whole day. So there's that, and it also, of course, having two closely linked airports together, you have real problems with routes crossing each other and aircraft trying to cross each other. There's a lot of things about cross the pond that are unrealistic when it comes down to it, and the sheer volume of traffic that goes out of these event airports and onto these nat tracks is higher than would be experienced in real life. So there are some unrealistic considerations that have to be made to be ensure the event can be handled realistically. So it also just has to deal with timing by spreading the airports out geographically. It also, you don't end up with everyone getting to the nat tracks at the same time. So you have like you have kind of a build up at the beginning. You will have kind of a peak in the middle, but it does sort of spread it out the time that people are in the nat tracks over a longer period of time. So there are various considerations, and just looking at the operation capabilities of various airports, the cross the pond planning team is now taken to not giving every airport an equal footing across the pond, and it's not to insult or disparage any one particular airport, but it's just because different airports have different levels of capability. So you take an airport that perhaps is a single runway operation, such as Gatwick, and they will have a limited amount of capacity to launch airplanes or handle arrivals within a given time period. You take a dual runway airport like Heathrow, it has a much greater chance of handling more arrivals.
For 2 minutes.
And okay, 248, Roger. Yeah, so depending on the nature of the airport itself, the cross the pond planning team will look at all sorts of various circumstance around how the event is going to run from a practical standpoint when they're selecting these airports. The votes obviously do make a huge difference, and certainly the higher an airport ranks, the more likely the team is going to try to work to include it. But like I said, if you end up with two airports that are side by side, two high intensity airports that are side by side, the team's going to try to work to not have those airports, both those airports in the event at the same time. I'm trying to think of examples. I can't think of anything right now, but like I said, like the three New York area airports, you would never do both of those at the same time. Boston, Washington and Philadelphia, you wouldn't do those, or even Philadelphia and a New York airport at the same time. They're just too close together. It creates way too much complexity and potential for understaffing. So, but nevertheless, the votes do count for something. They definitely show where the preferences are, where the where people want to fly. But it also is kind of nice to see it change up. Like you get the perennial favorites that are in there all the time. You get the Heathrow and the Boston and New York in there all the time. And then it's nice to see some different airports and get a little variety in across the pond. Go visit some different airports, some smaller airports. Like let's get Cincinnati in there or Detroit or something, an airport that isn't very popular on VATSIM. Yeah, you found out where you found out where Lima is there, yeah. That's all right. If in doubt, ask for Progressive. All right, now he's probably about 150 back, yeah. Oscar Delta Sierra 645 Vancouver. When ready, descend 4000. Vancouver altimeter 3037.
Roger, when ready, we'll start descending 4000. Vancouver altimeter 3037. Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, and just want to confirm the altitude is correct. It's 14,000.
Yes, 14,000, 140. Flight level next.
Thank you. It sounded like he just said 4,000, so I wanted to be sure about that one. All right, somebody took off from somewhere here. Someone's bombing around the terminal unit VFR. You get so much VFR traffic in VATSIM now. It never used to happen like this, but it's there a lot of the time now, and it's fun. All right, well, I can't believe it's already been 2.5 hours. That was longer than I planned on streaming originally, but just because we got this traffic coming in, we'll see if we can get it on the ground.
Air Canada 248, we are back.
Air Canada 248, thank you. Yeah, it's a pity it's not any busier. It's kind of a little bit of a letdown now. It's gotten a little quiet. Got lots of overflights going on here. Oh, we got another one. We got a live one. So now we got 3 on the ground again, so sometimes just sit in waiting. Like I said, like at this point, like I'm pretty and Alaska is back. Alaska 491 is back again. What did I click on? That was a yeah, what was I saying though? Oh, SkyWest is filed. Alright, what's he got? SkyWest 132. I'm not even going to bother giving Alaska squawk code anymore because he's just not going anywhere. I'll believe it when I see it. Alright, there we go. It's just going on to Seattle. Just a quick hop over to Seattle. Hopefully that means he's going to get going quickly here. Yeah. If you wait for it, the traffic will come into this network. Yeah.
Requesting voice check.
And calling for the voice check, read you 5.
Thank you.
This person's just going to play around on the south end of the terminal unit, probably not talk to me. That's fine. If you don't want to talk to me. Yeah, it's a pity we don't have a Yelp review for controllers. You can go and give me 5 stars on my Yelp review. It's funny though because it's a network where you just learn certain people and you can become familiar with certain names on the network and you see them and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fly there. Pardon me. You see people on the network, you see those names, you're like, yeah, that person's a quality controller. I'm gonna go fly there. I enjoy flying in their airspace. Certain people get a reputation, and just as well for people who are perhaps like I said, like people who are short with you as a pilot, like you make a mistake and they're all over you and they're really kind of rude about it. It's like, why would I continue to fly this network when you're going to treat me like that? So I'm certainly not going to fly your airspace. I'll find some friendly airspace to fly. Canadian 3121 Vancouver, contact me airborne. The wind 070 at 10, clear for takeoff, runway 08 right.
Okay, we'll take care of 08 right, welcome back to airborne Canada, 321.
Alaska 491 requesting clearance to Seattle per plan filed.
Hey, he's with us. Alaska 491 Vancouver, good day. You're cleared to Seattle via the Vancouver 1 departure. Radar vectors to Roche and flight plan route. Depart runway 08 right. Squawk code 0760. No problem. And I tried to go a little slower because I figured he sounded nervous. All right.
Vancouver Center, Skybus 132 with Bravo, look at pick my IFR to Seattle.
Stand by. Okay. Alaska 491, sending him a message on frequency there. All right. And SkyWest 132 Vancouver, you're cleared to Seattle via the Vancouver 1 departure. Radar vectors to Roche flight plan route. Depart runway 08 right. Squawk code 0754.
Skybus 132 is cleared to Vancouver, Seattle via the Vancouver 1 radar vectors to Roche. None is filed. Expect runway 8 right. And then I've got squawk 0754.
SkyWest 132, that readback is correct. Information Charlie now current. Pushback startup at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Roger, we'll get Charlie and we'll push out our discretion and let you know for taxi, Skybus 132.
Vancouver Center, Canada 312, passing 17, climbing 7,000 feet.
Canada 3121 Vancouver, thanks. Identified. Climb 16,000.
16,000, Canada 311.
Alaska 491 cleared to Seattle via Vancouver 1 departure. Radar vectors Roche, then flight planned route. Depart runway 08 right, squawk 0760.
Alaska 491 Vancouver, thank you. The readback is correct. Information Charlie is now current. Pushback and startup at your discretion and call ready for taxi.
Information Charlie now active and call when ready to taxi.
And SkyWest 132 Vancouver.
Go for SkyWest 132.
SkyWest 132, I'm going to have to amend your cruise altitude here for flight to Seattle. We're restricted to 16,000, so I'm going to show 16,000 for your cruise today.
Roger, we'll plan for 16,000, Skywest 132.
Thank you. Canadair 3121 Vancouver, proceed direct add 6 on course.
Direct add 6 on course, on Canada 311.
Just going to close this view because it really has not provided me any useful information for a little while here. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, descend 10,000.
Descend 10,000, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Alright, people are texting me here. Someone's asking me what time I'm going to log off in like 15 minutes. Sorry, I gotta go. I've been here for way too long already. Longer than originally planned. Canadair 3121 Vancouver, continue climb, flight level 350.
Flight level 350, thank you, Canadair 3121.
Well, I lost Air Canada 248 there. You disappeared off my scopes as well. Oh, FSX crashed. Ah, shoot. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and the key when you're speaking fast is you got to know your audience. You got to know your audience. Some people can do it. Some people can absolutely handle it, and it's no problem. But some people are just, they're not able to, they're new. They're not familiar. They need help, and they can't handle when you're rattling things off at 100 miles an hour. And it really doesn't help you as a controller to rattle things off at 100 miles an hour if the guy's not going to understand you, because then you're going to have to repeat yourself 4 times just to get your message across. So better to slow down to the rate that the pilot is going to be able to handle. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, vectors for the ILS 08 left, turn right heading 170, descend 7,000.
Turn right heading 170, descend 7,000, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Gonna try and sneak him in with a nice direct base there, so it's not so long to get going here.
Air Canada 1516, currently 20 miles out of top of descent, descent.
Air Canada 1516 Vancouver, when ready, descend flight level 230.
When ready, descend to flight level 230, Air Canada 1516.
Yeah, so we're going to cut this guy in across the, rather than make him fly the whole star, we'll just cut him in directly towards the final approach course. That'll make it a little bit quicker and get me out of here a little bit quicker, because I'm starving at this point. I am hungry. Had breakfast quite a while ago. But yeah, the stream ended up being a little bit busier than I expected it to be, which is kind of nice. So I'm happy that I did get a little bit busier. VATSIM never fails to surprise me how many people actually show up when you actually start controlling, when you come online and start controlling. So
Alaska 491, ready to taxi.
Alaska 491, Vancouver, runway 08 right. Information is Charlie, altimeter 3037, taxi Papa, Mike, Victor, Lima, cross runway 13. Papa, Mike, Victor, Lima. See if he'll spot it. That's the wrong. Ah. There we go. Texted in the wrong place. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, descend 5,000.
Descend 5,000, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Alright, runway 08 right, info Charlie, altimeter 3037, taxi Pop Mike, Victor Lima, cross runway 13. All right.
Alaska 491, runway 08 right, information Charlie, altimeter 3037, taxi PM BL cross 13.
Alaska 491, roger. Just waiting for him to cross this little brown line here that indicates where the different terrain limits are. Different minimum vectoring altitudes. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, descend 3000.
Descending 3000, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Air Canada 1516 Vancouver, you're about to leave my airspace to the east. Edmonton's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day. And now Seattle Center's gone. See ya. That's a... I just don't get like why people just show up for just like half an hour and then log off. You gotta stay here for an hour to even build up the traffic for people to see you're on. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, turn left, heading 110 to intercept, cleared ILS, runway 08 left.
Turn left 110 to intercept, ILS 08 left, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Vancouver Center, Skywest 132, rate taxi, 8 right.
Skywest 132, Vancouver, runway 08 right, information is Charlie, altimeter 3037. Taxi, Golf Hotel, Lima, hold short of Victor for now.
Golf Hotel Lima, hold short of Victor, and we've got 3037 for Skywest 132. And we'll hold short Victor, Skywest 132.
All right. Oscar Delta Sierra 645 Vancouver, you've gone through the localizer. Turn back to the right 050 to re-intercept. Still cleared the ILS 08 left.
Please come back, turn right 050.
Oh, Oscar Delta Sierra 645 affirmative 050 on the heading. You've already gone past the localizer.
Roger. Turn right 050.
And it should be a left turn.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I entered the wrong frequency for the localizer. That's why I missed it. Okay, making 150 now.
Oscar Delta Sierra, okay. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, make a right turn heading 260. I'll vector you back around for the ILS.
260, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Good afternoon, Vancouver Center. This is Air Canada 204 with Charlie.
Air Canada 204, Vancouver.
Vancouver 204, we're looking to get our IFR to Calgary.
Air Canada 204, standby. Skywest 132, do you see the, actually standby, Alaska 491, do you see the CRJ just turning onto Lima there ahead of you?
Roger, I see him.
Alaska 491, you can follow that CRJ. Skywest 132, continue taxi Lima, cross runway 13.
Continue taxi Lima, cross runway 13, Skywest 132.
Air Canada 204, Vancouver, you're cleared to Calgary via the Vancouver 1 departure. Radar vectors to AD6 flight plan route, depart runway 08 right, squawk code 0735.
Air Canada 204, we're cleared to To Calgary via Vancouver 1, expect radar. Runway 08 right and squawk 0735.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, turn right heading 350.
Turn right heading 350, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Air Canada 204, your readback is all correct. Information Charlie, current pushback and startup at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Well, call ready for taxi, Air Canada 204.
And Vancouver Centre has to step away for about 60 seconds. Alright, just have to step away because the dog apparently wants to go out, so just give me 1 second, guys. Alright, back. Just had to let the dog out there. There we go. And SkyWest 132 Vancouver, contact me once you're airborne. The wind 0508, gust 15. You're clear for takeoff, runway 08, right?
Alright, 08 right, clear for takeoff. We'll contact you when we're up, SkyWest 132.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, turn right heading 050 to intercept, cleared ILS 08 left.
Turn right heading 050 to intercept ILS Oscar Delta 645.
Alaska 491 Vancouver, behind the departing CRJ, line up runway 08 right.
Alaska 491, cleared for departure.
Alaska 491 negative, line up only runway 08 right.
Line up only, runway 08 right.
Get through these two departures and this arrival here, and that's going to be it. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking for way too long already today, and yeah, like I said, I've got some
Delta Sierra 645 established on localizer 08 left.
Oscar Delta Sierra 645, Roger, number 1. Yeah, my voice is just really giving out here. Alaska 491 Vancouver, contact me airborne. Winds 050, 8 gust 15, clear for takeoff, runway 08 right.
Clear to take off, runway 08 right, Alaska 491.
Vancouver Centre, SkyWest 132, 3,600 climbing.
SkyWest 132 Vancouver, thanks. Identified, climb 16,000, turn right, direct Roche on course.
Alright, climb 16,000 and right direct to Roche on course, SkyWest 132.
Alaska 846 Vancouver, you're about to leave my airspace to the north. Anchorage is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Switching over, thank you for services. Have a good day, Alaska 846.
Take care. Now I gotta remember to let the dog in a minute.
491 airborne.
Alaska 491, just confirm the altitude you're passing through. And of course he's doing the turn. And now I'm not sad, I'm logging off.
Current altitude 3,000 feet.
Alaska 491, thank you. Identified, climb 15,000.
Climb 15,000.
Alaska 491, vectors for sequence. Turn back to runway heading 080. Oscar Delta Sierra 645 Vancouver, the wind 0508, gust 15, clear to land, runway 08 left.
Clear to land, runway 08 left, Oscar Delta Sierra 645.
Alaska 491, fly heading 080, vectors for sequencing.
Alaska 491-080.
Just need to get this guy a little bit behind here because he's just catching up to this guy. He should have stayed on runway heading and would have given me a lot easier time turning him on course if I'd been able to choose when he turned on course instead of turning 10 feet off the ground. But again, I have a feeling it comes to the whole idea of he didn't read the SID, and frankly, I'm just running out of patience now because it's been 3 hours. I'm ready to throw in the towel right now, so I just want to get a little bit of a separation between these two guys. SkyWest 132, if you can, give me speed 300 or faster for now for in-trail sequence.
Roger, 300 or faster, SkyWest 132.
I don't think Alaska's going to do anything here. I said 080, I don't know where he's going. He's making the in-trail spacing, but...
VancouverCentre, good morning. King Air Charlie Golf Echo Juliet Echo is on the ground at Vancouver with Charlie and requesting clearance down to Boeing Field, please.
Echo Juliet Echo Vancouver, I've got no flight plan on you.
Okay, we'll try refile. Thanks, Echo Juliet Echo.
Alaska 491, continue direct Roche on course.
Alaska 491, direct Roche.
SkyWest 132, spacing's fine now, speed your discretion.
Speed my discretion, SkyWest 132.
SkyWest 132, Seattle's no longer online, so you can switch the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have yourself a good day.
Order Unicom, thanks for all your help, SkyWest 132.
Canada Air 3121 Vancouver, we're going to be closing down now, so you can switch the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
And also, have a good day, Canada Air 3121.
And Oscar Delta Sierra 645 Vancouver, shutting down now. You can taxi in at your discretion. Have yourself a good rest of the day.
VancouverCentre, thank you very much. Oscar Delta Sierra 645, thank you for the control. See you next time.
See you next time. Alaska 491 VancouverCentre is closing. You can switch the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
See you.
Thank you very much for your guidance. See you. Have a nice day.
Thanks. And for everybody else on the ground in Vancouver and anyone else on frequency, VancouverCentre is now closed. Switch to the Unicom 122.8 and a good day to all. And that's it. I'm done. Goodbye. I've had enough time with VATSIM for today. That was a lot of work. It was good fun, though. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will see you guys all real soon out there on the VATSIM network. Probably not till for at least about a week because I got lots of work coming up. But when I do have time, I will be definitely putting some time on this channel. So in the meantime, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Stay safe, healthy out there, and we'll see you guys all next time.